so far to watch?
Oh man, I mean, Liquid has to be the team that jumps out to me. I mean, of course, you've got a great foundation from that roster, but then getting to watch Gokyn at his peak form, he had a little bit of a slow start to the tournament, but watching him kind of grow as the tournament went on and kind of reaching the peak of his powers in that Stallion matchup made things very exciting. I mean, Group A is not going to get any easier today. I mean, having Vitality taking on GK is an exciting one, and then Stallions having to fight against EPG. That's like the matchup of the day for me, in all honesty.
It'll be strange to say goodbye to one of those teams, I think, this early on. And then in Group B, we have seen a couple of teams already progress through to those quarterfinals. We did also say goodbye to Anubis Gaming last night. We said goodbye to Team Nemesis as well, but we still have to find out who's going to progress from the Vicious and Na'Vi. Falcons are still going to be competing as well to see whether they can beat Baisha. So there is plenty on the line still in these groups. And then once those are completed, we will, of course, see who will be the top 8 teams in the group and then into the quarterfinals. Now, looking at yesterday, if you didn't see it, we can kind of recap you and see what happened on our stage in particular, because a lot did happen. As I said, we said goodbye to teams. We also saw teams progress through. I mean, looking back here, Penguin, some big games, some important matches, and some brilliant moments.
Yeah, this is one of the upsets that we were talking about. Stallions, when they had a very good sub-base game, and we said, okay, Stallions is just going to steamroll forward their way through Liquid, and it's going to be a quiet, I don't want to say an easy game, but it's probably a 2-0 game. Look at these Stallions on the second map. They were almost doing it. It was 7-7, 3 rounds to maybe probably make them the winners, and then going home. Yesterday was being on the playoffs, but suddenly we've seen a good reverse sweep from them, and then we went to Rock and Na'Vi. We said that Na'Vi should be having a good games versus Rock. It should be close, but it wasn't at all. And this is also one of the unexpected things that we've seen yesterday on the stream. I believe that Rock, they are still kind of improving in terms of when it is going into the tournament. Every time, every day, they're just having more power. We've seen MGs come back as well, and then finally we've got to see the last chase was kind of one-sided in favor of GK. A big surprise was that Execration didn't have any single fight yesterday.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that we had a disappointing showing from them. This was I would argue, the most interesting matchup, in my opinion, between Anubis and the Vicious. It was very back and forth. I mean, the way that it started, Anubis had every opportunity to showcase, okay, Dirty Muffin, that double sniper duo is one to watch, and then heartbreak after heartbreak led them to just probably the most upsetting elimination I've watched in my time as a caster, where multiple opportunities in both maps and just not able to close it out and having to send them home.
Yeah, we saw Anubis get to 9 twice. Right?
Yeah.
And then it goes into overtime and they lose it both times. It must be very demoralizing for them. I mean, I'm sure it was. They were eliminated and they lost their key as well. If you're wondering how the bracket looks, we can give you an overview of that now as well, and how it's starting to pave its way into today's action and therefore into tomorrow's action after the fact. So these are the groups. This was Group A. Of course, we saw the opening matches on day 1, leading us into our decider matches that we were able to see yesterday, and then it leaves us with our decider matches down in that lower bracket. You said Stallions versus EPG was probably your favorite match in this today's action. Is there a reason for that? Is it just because saying goodbye to one of them would be such a huge loss?
I mean, there's expectations for both of those teams, right? EPG, obviously from the Chinese region, there's an expectation after showcasing a good performance at EWC last year that they should be performing at that same level, if not better. And the same thing goes for Stallions. I mean, their entire 2025 campaign internationally was fantastic. That now there's an expectation that they have to meet. There's a criteria that says, hey, they got to be in the playoffs. They got to be competing for top 4 against some of these Chinese rosters. So for either one of them to have their journey end this short, it's definitely concerning moving forward, and I think either one of them will breathe a sigh of relief that they can put this behind them.
And then on the other side, we have Vitality, GK that are going to be playing up against each other as well. But then in Group B, we had our opening games, which we saw pretty normal results, aside from maybe Na'Vi 2-0ing Falcons, which was the biggest surprise of that opening set. But then as we move a little bit further into them, we started to say goodbye to a couple of teams. Nemesis put up a fantastic game against Rock Esports, but sadly they ended up getting eliminated yesterday as well, alongside Anubis Gaming. Both of those going all the way to the best of 3, going the distance. Na'Vi versus Vicious or Baisha versus Falcons. I mean, both of those intense games today as well.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to get back to what you said about Anubis. We've seen also Nemesis. Just want to say that all the West League teams, they went all the way to the full maps. They went to 3 maps. They played the 3 maps. But, I mean, yes, only Vitality claimed the win. Nemesis were very close versus Falcons, as you mentioned yesterday. And then suddenly they got reverse sweep as well. Anubis, they got reverse sweep as well. This shows that the experience probably is not here for these guys. But now, I mean, the Vicious, they played very good yesterday. I would love to see these guys again. We're going to be seeing them versus Navi. Navi just had a good run. Probably, yes, not the best versus Rocky Sports, but we've seen how they played versus Falcons, and it's the same region they're going to play again as they played versus the first seed Vietnam. Now they're going to be playing versus the 3rd seed on Vietnam.
Yeah, lots of exciting games to come. Day 3 is upon us. And if you're excited at home, well, we're going to get you even more excited. Check this out.
Team Vita là một đối thủ rất mạnh đại diện cho Seed 1 của châu Âu, nhưng đây là một trận đấu trên sàn, biết đâu chúng tôi có thể thắng.
We usually watch the Vietnamese league and we watch GK how they are playing. GK be ready for us because we gonna destroy you.
Team Navi thì lối đánh thì khá nhanh, counter được, giành chiến thắng được. A gente vai em busca da vitória da classificação para as quartas de final e a gente tem certeza que vai passar.
就想对下一个对手说，无论我们打谁，我们都会全力以赴拿下这场胜利。
Estamos evoluindo a cada jogo e espero ser campeão.
在 EWC 2025我们也晋级到了季后赛，但是没有走得更远。希望在2026 EWC 可以更进一步。
I'm very happy to qualify for the playoffs. Whoever we are facing next, be prepared because we are ready.
Plenty to look forward to then in day 3 of today's action. And we've got some brilliant games here on the side stream as well, kicking off with Vitality versus GK. GK surprised me a little bit yesterday. I didn't know what to expect, but they came out all guns blazing. But they'll be going up against the Vitality team who will want to prove a point here, dropping down from that upper bracket. Let's start talking about Vitality. Man, what makes Vitality a team that could get to the playoffs for you?
I mean, they are the most experienced team on stage right now because these guys have been together for like 3 years. They are good veteran players. They don't have young stars because usually if you see any team, they usually have some young stars except for the Chinese top 2 teams and Vitality as well, these guys. So I believe that the experience, the level of chemistry between these guys can just put it together and maybe probably just translate it into a win.
And even though it's an outside chance of a club championship success here for Team Vitality, it's a 0.33. It was yesterday. It may have gone down now, I'm not sure. But it's still about trying to compete and getting into that top 3 of the club championship. So still a big responsibility for these players, at least to get into those playoffs for the extra club championship points. But then first and foremost, it's about doing it for themselves, right, Paladin? It's about getting the respect from your peers and also just trying to get further and further towards that trophy.
Yeah, they're trying to represent Europe, and they have been for quite some time. And they're the only team that I look at reliably to say, yeah, they can go toe-to-toe with the Chinese roster. They have the potential to go toe-to-toe with the Chinese roster. And we've seen that in terms of their opening matchup. Of course, the matchup against AG didn't necessarily go the way that they were wanting, but the win that they had earlier on against EP felt like, you know, there is something to be seen from this roster. And I think, as you kind of mentioned, Penguin, about the experience, about what they've shown on the stage, it's only going to help them. I think they've got a severe advantage in the matchup against GK today because of that experience, because of that chemistry. And with that, I have a feeling that they'll feel a lot more comfortable today after having already taken to the stage in that main stage here in this venue.
And a little bit of extra pressure for them as well, because the Vitality booth here at EWC is right next to us. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of overarching eyes looking towards and just having a little peer over, seeing if they see how Vitality are doing. And I'm sure lots of Vitality fans curious how they're going to fare as well. Now, on the other side of the stage, we have GK Esports. This is going to be a tough game for them, that's for sure, but they certainly proved yesterday that they have come here to play.
I mean, if you watch the interview, this guy said, like, okay, Vitality is one of the strongest teams and they're probably the favorite in this game, but we're going to do our best and probably on stage, anybody can win. And this is exactly what I was talking to my teammates when I was playing. Like, okay, if you're playing online, it's completely different when you go on stage, because on stage, a lot of outside factors that can affect the game, probably the atmosphere, probably if you're having a good day, your enemy team probably is not having the best days ever. And we've seen some teams just falling because of that. We've seen Stallions yesterday, it wasn't their day. So I still think they have the chances. Yes, as Paladin mentioned, we are looking at Vitality as the favorite team to win this game, but still, GK, we cannot exclude them out of the picture.
Yeah, whenever you have international head-to-heads, like different regions clashing with one another, there's always an outside chance of something finicky happening, whether it's in the veto, whether it's actually in the macro-micro of these maps itself. And that's what makes this matchup so exciting, that even in that theoretical sense that Vitality are pretty heavily favored, there's that expectation that, you know, maybe you have a pop-off moment from one of these players on GK. And so far, I guess the veto kind of looks stock standard. Nothing really jumps out to me here, Penguin.
I like GK's banned on New Compound because they've watched how good Vitality is on New Compound. I wanted to talk about Vito, but Solid is here because New Compound should be eliminated if you want to be playing versus Vitality. We've seen how good they played versus EP. They beat him 10-3. I believe they spent B-Sod, and if you have a team who's good on pushing B-Sod, you're definitely not going to be winning this map. So good read by GK. That means that they did their homework. These guys knows what they're doing.
Scriv will be happy backstage as well because Eagle Eye is going to be played. But I mean, just seeing that map, Vito, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think Vitality get themselves Eagle Eye and Subbase. I mean, that's 2 out of 3 maps that I think they really, really enjoy. That automatically, I just feel like, let's say that pressure does mount, Ankara doesn't go their way, there's a big offensive push here from GK. I can still see a world where they pull it out in 3, Vitality. And, I mean, I'm still going to favor them to complete the sweep. I don't think there's really too much pressure on Vitality here.
Well, not too much pressure, maybe, but there is going to be big pressure in the fact this is an elimination game, everyone. It's GK versus Vitality. It's day 3 of EWC 2026. We've got Crossfire action, and we've got Penguin and Paladin.
Excited to be here. It's decider match number 1 between Vitality and GK. Pretty optimal veto, pretty optimal situation for Vitality. Having to play against 2 Chinese teams back-to-back isn't necessarily the greatest opening draw, but Vitality have kind of stood the test of time, and now they quote-unquote get an easier one. The expectation is here that they get it over the line. They qualify for the playoffs for the 2nd straight EWC in a row. But the question is, how cleanly can they do it? And can they do it? Because this GK roster looked very comfortable against Execration yesterday, Penguin.
Well, you've said it. They play versus 2 Chinese teams, but I tell you that this gives them a boost on momentum because they played versus strong teams. They probably got into the tournament. They didn't have a quite easy run, so they made some mistakes, definitely, and we've seen the loss versus AG. They will learn from it, and probably they will change. And also, you mentioned that Eagle Eye and Subbase. Let me tell you, on West League, Vitality has the highest wins on first Subbase, second Eagle Eye. So they're playing the 2 best maps on this V2. Yes, Subbase is going to be the decider. We might not see it, but still, there's fair chances. And Snare just picks Pime out.
That's a beautiful shot. Pixel spotted, and Datchip has been spotted as well. So now already, I mean, this is something that we saw with the Anubis yesterday. It's just these double sniper setups know how to manage the angles very well, and they get off to the races straight away. There is a pullback from Bakute, but Snake will go very aggressive, unorthodox from Vitality to be this forward-facing, and it completely catches this offense off guard. Bakute and Kimbum will have to do everything in this 2-on-4. There 30 seconds left on the clock. They'll send it through the hotel. And it is a pretty open site. It's only Snare that's here. And he'll have to be a little bit more passive, potentially playing in more of a retake setup. But this shot over from Slayer should at least get 1 shot off, but it doesn't. Very smartly played here from GK.
I mean, already Snare was behind because these guys are not afraid to launch. They are not afraid to move forward. And we've seen Slayer just pushing blue doors instantly, just giving his teammates the full information. And this is what separates Vitality from any other West League teams. Snake pushed along. Slayer pushed mid. They both knew that it is going to be beside, so you don't need to stay on site. You just need to retreat back to the city, wait for the retake. You already know where the guys are going. Just take your positions instead of just having one guy and immediately just got killed alone on site. So well played by them. Also good pick by Snare on Pime because we wanted to talk about Pime needs to be out of the picture if Vitality needs to win. And also for GK, I believe that the roster is just relying on the picks that Pime usually do, the aggressive plays that he's usually making. So the first round wasn't successful for him, and now he's got another chance to just find some other kills.
Slayer now in the hotel, pretty aggressive, mind you. He does have some rifling support, which means there's always that trade potential. But so far, GK very keen on playing a very methodical play style here, realizing that mid-round aggression can happen at any point in time from their opponents. Here comes a little bit of an execution. A couple smokes being tossed on the A side of things, a lurk smoke on B, and they come in through the middle of the map, trying to isolate a split potential. But Snake and Horus, everybody chiming in here from the defense. That chip is there for a couple kills in response, but still a man advantage here for the defense. And still, I mean, this utility will eventually get expended, that anything that GK wants to end up doing, they're going to have to do it dry.
Yeah, only nade on Pine is not going to help. 41 HP, C4 is there, that chip is here. Snare is about to be tested on a side. As we can see, the global risk are kind of split, but Snare just want to take this fight. Pime gets the better out of him, and now it is one-on-one when it comes to this duel. But Snake is still here. He does a lot of damage and also takes a lot of damage. 34 HP is to work with. But Slayer is still 4 HP and he has an HK, and this guy is coming back behind. Pime just knows where he is. The plant is coming. Pime just picks Snake and it's all about the Slayer. And if anybody is to clutch this round, it is going to be Slayer. After this Snake might get that chip out, and finally he does. But Pime, third on a piece and gets it to GK, and now is 1-1. I mean, Pime, as we've mentioned, if GK has chances to win the rounds, it should be this man doing the work. Got Snake, got Snare, and also clutched the round versus Slayer.
Yeah, difficult sequence there for PM to put together. Not really any flashes or smokes to support him in any way, but he makes it work very well. Silenced early on in round number 1, but round 2, you hear him cheer back, and what a flick back over there from PM. And now that should prime this A play to come through. Snare now under pressure, and he won't find anything. There's a response here from Vitality to surge back into A, but it's all the Blacklist side. Sure, Horus finds one, but look at how much damage he's taken. 21 HP to his name. GK now upping the tempo and getting rewarded for it here on this Blacklist side.
I mean, aggressive round coming out from GK, changing the pace. I like it. They've played slow for the first 2 rounds. The third was fast. The pick onto Todzin. Todzin wasn't aware that Pime can be doing these aggressive things. Yes, we've mentioned on the desk that Pime is always aggressive. Vitality should have done their homework, that we know Pime is sometimes randomly anywhere, and 4 kills to this guy makes GK 2-1. And still, they have a slow round this time. Changing the pace, changing the style is a good thing to have versus teams such as Vitality, because it makes it unexpected every time you're fighting. But look at that, Duct One is just trying to cheese for some kill on a long. Snare is playing aggressive, and Pime will have to get close. Snare might get one and leave, but now that chip is the one who gets the kill. 5-on-4, minute and 40 seconds on the clock, and these guys should be looking into one of the sides with the numbers advantage that they have.
Looks like A is the name of the game here. Deep smoke being tossed in by Vitality, but they can wait this one out. Still a chance for PM to do some significant damage with that sniper. Kimbom has been spotted though, and that should prime at least an extra rotation to come through. Horus is trying to make his way in, but he's not been able to find anything. And this offense has just looked rock solid from GK. There's a bit of hesitancy from Vitality to call in that third rotation. And for GK, as soon as they get that pick, they're surging forward. They're not leaving anything to chance. It's something that we noticed from some of the rosters yesterday where, you know, they've gotten themselves a man advantage in an open bomb site, yet they still hesitate. They slow the pace of the round down, and they overcomplicate things. But right now, GK seems to be hitting a little bit of a flow state, Penguin.
I mean, I haven't seen anything unique from GK, I would say, but still, their aims are on point. Probably Vitality is not having the best aims right now. They will need to get in aggressive. As you can see, Snake just unleashes himself into getting that chip out of the picture. 4 are on belong. But look at mid control. A-long control is all by Vitality side, so nothing that GK has in terms of spaces except this B side. That's why we are seeing a 3 from Vitality now on B side. A good change in the pace. We've talked about GK changing the pace, and now Vitality are doing the same. They are trying to deny the space for them in order to win some rounds. And yes, Snake got the kill. Slayer took a bit of damage, but still, I don't think it's gonna be that problem for them. Minute and 40 seconds, and these guys are usually waiting for the smokes. The flash is just fake, probably is out of the map. Todzin just get blinded by his teammate. He's like, okay, you're gonna be waiting for this smoke. I believe that these guys need to execute into B-side, but look at that, 4 around B-side. Only Snake is there to guard the mid and A.
Oh no, but Horus goes down initially, and that flash is perfect from the side of GK. Slater is still here though, the man that you want, and the secondary in the form of Snare, or at least another sniper in the form of Snare, is here and nearly had a double on his plate, but still a 2-on-2. Snake's still trying to make his way over from A, and the C4 still hasn't hit the deck. Kimbom with 8 HP wants to go on the offensive, and Slayer, he's wise to these tricks. He's been around the block a little bit now. PM now in this clutch situation, brings it down to a 1-on-1. He's got 45 seconds left on the clock. Eventually, he's got to pull the trigger to get that bomb down, and Snake has not bitten. He's still over here on A, watching the rotation in the back lanes. He puts the onus on GK, on PM, to get that bomb down, and he will. He'll commit to B. And now Snake's got to make that long rotation, and these long lines being watched by the sniper will make this retake very difficult.
Yeah, and Snake was waiting for the C4 to be planted, and now his chances to move, get the kill, get around. Probably the first clutch for Snake now. An important one for the team. He's been spotted. Pime knows he's there, whiffs the first shot. Snake has another chance. The smoke is there. Time is ticking. And Pime just swings to get the 1v2 clutch for GK. All the aim fights are going one-sided so far. I don't think Vitality has any problems except trying to hit these shots. And by time, we might see them playing better and better. But look at GK's aim. Look at this guy's discipline. I mean, they look sharp today.
Yeah, PM looks on another level right now. And then he's going to continue his good looks in this first, or in terms of the first pick here in round number 6. 8-1 to start things off. And I definitely agree. I mean, Vitality did not look as sharp as they usually have been, but the efficiency of GK has been something else. Snare, though, trying to pull things back, and the one bit of man advantage that Vitality have is quickly ripped away. GK storming again through this one. 5 rounds will look very doable at this point, and doing this on the Blacklist side, you'd like to think is pretty impressive. And oh wow, I thought that shot was a little awry there from Snare, and yet still we have ourselves a 1-on-1 after the dust settles. Horus very capable in the clutch, but Kimbom with the bomb site, the ability to get that C4 down, and an out route over to A, and he spotted a back turn, completely catches Horus off guard, and GK are roaring to life here.
Yeah, man, these clutches are going all one-way sided in favor of GK, and as I mentioned now, I guess they need more a pep talk than a strategic-wise talk, because GK are not doing anything out of the world. They're just doing the basic gameplay, but perfectly executed when it comes to these clutches. 3 1v1s have been won. The only one to win the first round is to win it when they got rid of Pine, when Snake and Snare just did a good job on these kills. But look at that sharp rounds coming out from GK. I believe that GK are just having a good day in terms of aim, and this puts him in a very favorable spot. And as we can see, the momentum is just rising and rising for these guys. As they said on an interview, that probably we are not the favorite in this matchup, but we're going to do our best. You never know who's going to be winning, especially on the international stages, and this is exactly what we are seeing. Vitality are still down 4 rounds, but I believe that they can have a good comeback if they can manage to pull off most of these clutches, I would say.
Yeah, it is definitely coming down to the individual decision-making for Vitality in the clutch. Right and ripe time to call a timeout, stem the bleeding a little bit. It definitely didn't feel as though Vitality were going to be in this situation in the first place. And yet still, down 5-1 on their own map pick, their home turf of Eagle Eye. worrying signs, to say the least. You know, you don't have that extra lifeline in this tournament as of right now. Group A has been deadly, but it still feels as though they've done the hard work to win a game against a Chinese roster and to qualify into the next level of competition yet again. But I've yet to see that in this series so far, Penguin.
Yeah. Let's see what did this guy have to show us after this timeout. We've seen Stray was doing the most of the talk. That's why I'm saying you need a pep talk. They don't need a strategic talk. Otherwise, you would see the players just discussing, try to, okay, probably this is not working, this is working. I think that they need to play the same as the first round. We've seen them unleashing themselves, and GK, you know, they don't need to change anything. And if you are going to eliminate Pine, it's going to be an easy round. But this time, Pine just gets the better out of Slayer and still doing a lot of damage. We've mentioned that he's one of the best players on GK, and 9-2 is here to deliver on only 6 rounds. He's doing a very good job. Only single defense side on A side from Vitality's team, but backed up by Tots and probably from A Connector, this guy who's been smoked for a while. And now we can see that GK are trying to set up for a push. C4 is around B side. 2 players are there from Vitality. It is Horus and Snake to defend this side, and I think they're going to be running clocks for these smokes to be gone, probably to push some mistakes. They know the Vitality are doing these plays, especially when they have numbers disadvantage. They need to push for some intel, otherwise they're going to be normally losing the round. Now the flash on mid just to fake. Nobody rotated from Vitality, which is good, but it's still no commitment on any of the sides.
And Horus still has not sprung to life over there in the hotel. Snake now actually is at first point of contact instead. So a bit of a crossfire here that Horus can abuse, but he's unable to necessarily get out for free. He's going to fight forward. 2 big kills from him. Totson can now chime in, but there's PM still kicking. 20 seconds left on the clock now as they try to bound into this B bomb site. Surely this is a round that Vitality can convert, but still we have ourselves a 2-on-2. C4 has been dropped. It has to be recovered. It has to be planted. There's not really enough time for this. At a certain point, you think that maybe a cross can come through. Time. They've got to find Totson, and they can't flick back over. He hasn't pulled the trigger at all. Beautifully intelligent play there from Totson in the 1-on-2. That's Vitality through the nick of time get themselves their second round on the board.
I was so scared that this guy might flick his mouse and just kills Totson and then gets the round. It's going to be so frustrating for him, but well played by Vitality. Now the changes that they've done is working out, and we are seeing a fake mid push into them, probably just trying to do some nade damage. But look at Snare, he just legs someone, and that one just gets him out. And now Pime is just a very low HP, and still that brings Vitality's back into action on this round. That puts them in the picture. Yes, it's 1-0, but Pime is just still on a very low HP.
I mean, the fact that he's still alive is still so important for GK. You've seen the amount of impact that this guy has provided, making that 2vx a possibility in the final round or final goings of that last round. GK now with this 5-on-4 with Snare down for the count. Definitely feels like a little bit of an advantage for the Blacklist side. A now the port of call. 3 players here, though, from the defense. Totson to take that initial contact, and he's been spotted. He's been cornered, and he's been wall-banged out of the round. And look at this. The crossfire just gets completely disassembled like a house of cards. It's just Slayer now in the 1-on-4, and the spam is decent, but PM, man, I mean, still able to get the final kill in the round. Still has 12 kills in this first half. He is just on an absolute tear right now.
Oh my lord, if you're going to push, this is a big stack from Vitality like this, and you still lose only 1 member, then definitely this is a hell of a day for you. And now we are seeing Vitality just trying to play the same way as they played. No crazy plays, just finally Snare just picks Pime off on a big wall bang and finds another. Snare with a triple kill so far, and Snake gets 1 more. Dachim is the only one to find the kills, and finally one of the first rounds for GK just got shot down by Vitality. A good half by both teams. Probably GK were better in most aspects of the game, and in the clutches, they won 3 clutches out of the 6 rounds that they got. That was make them the better team when it comes to this matchup, but still, we're going to be seeing now Vitality on the Blacklist side. We know that these guys have a very, very good chemistry, so they should be having some good Blacklist rounds and probably some good pushes into the sides, good reactions, good solo plays. And now GK will have to show us that this is one of their best maps, I would say.
Yeah, I think in their minds, now that they've got a couple of clutches under their belt, that they know that there's a potency in the team to make this comeback happen. But still have to deal with GK's global risk side that can still be dangerous. Still slightly favored in this first map of play after a couple of stellar rounds back-to-back. Vitality, with that West League style, will be methodical, will be slow. Really want to cross their T's, dot their I's. And right now, they seem to be looking at this A side a little bit pacier than you'd like to think. Here they come in. PM still on the scene, and an opportunity for Datchip to find some impact. PM gets one off the ground, but he's trying to find a way to stay alive, and he does. Look at how long he lives. It allows for these two rotations between Bakcute and Kimbum to come in, but Horus is still firing away. It's into the one-on-one now. Headshot angle for Horus, but he can't convert. Bakcute gets another clutch on the board, and GK just can't make the wrong decision in these X-Factor scenarios.
This guy lives for so long, as you mentioned. Pime is just wasting a lot of time. He's just toying around with Slayer behind the pillar, just going left to right, gets the kill immediately. Yes, he got traded, but at what costs everybody? Because Pime just got the jump from Snake into death, and now they have one-man advantage on one of the most important rounds for Vitality. I was going to mention that this is going in the heads. If they lose this round, it's going to be a big difference between them and Sprezen, but Snare just replies with another beautiful shot.
Good shot, and then, you know, Vitality, they just want to go off the back of this straight away. They found another one from Horus, and Todson will chime in as well. The Riflers now singing to life. Datchip and PM, though, known for a clutch or two. Datchip completely blinded up, though, trying to live for as long as possible as he regains his vision. And as soon as he does, he finds instant impact. Slayer hits the deck. C4 still hasn't gone down yet, mind you. The PM still has a chance. He gets spotted out, can now re-scope in, and you'd think that he'd nail that shot with the way he's been playing. But that trip's there to pick up the pieces, and now it's got to be Snare. Your leading player in terms of firepower on this Vitality side, and you're looking to him to be that spark plug to reignite this team back into contention. Still a minute left on this clock about, and a chance to at least get that C4 down, put the pressure on the defense, but he hasn't been able to suss out where either one of them have gone off to. It's just so concerning to him, and because of that, he just wants to reset the situation, maybe move back over to A. There's plenty of room for it. And Datchip still hasn't shown enough of his body. Finally, he does. A lot of damage taken by Snare. 10 HP, but he hits the quick scope regardless. 45 seconds left on the clock, and he makes the split-second decision to at least consider the A move. But doubles back. Puts the onus on PM. Surely this has been communicated that he's been tagged up. He switches over to the pistol to be a little bit more active, and PM still very understanding of the situation. And you're exactly right, Penguin. Another clutch on the board. Another inch taken by the side of GK.
I mean, Snare got a lot of damage before just trying to find this kill. Yes, he landed a beautiful quick scope onto this guy, I mean, and then suddenly he just found Pime in his face with the SP, just gets the kill, and another clutch goes the way of GK. I guess 6 clutches on total right now, probably at least 5, and now GK are up 8-3. After a round that should have went to Vitality, because it was a 3-on-2, and you guys were also on side. You had the bomb, you had the C4, you had everything on the line, and yet you couldn't connect the shots. Now, Kimbum just did a big damage on Snare. He's trying to guess where he is. He might get him out, but no, Snare just dodges the nade. He is still alive. He's trying to get a backup cover by Todson. And now GK, they know that they have the HP advantage. They shouldn't risk anything because Snare landing beautiful quick scopes when he's very low HP. We've seen a couple versus EP. And now Vitality are trying to move their way out of B side. A good stop from GK onto this control. And now Vitality is still trying to find any intel, trying to find any advantage in their side, because when we've seen them just executing 5v5, didn't work out very well for them. 2 rounds, one on side, one on A side, one on B side. Both of them, they lost it into a clutches, and now they need to be changed. We are seeing Kimbam now with an amazing flash to probably stop the push. Vitality just trying to figure out where to go. We're seeing 2 players in mid, 3 players on B long. Probably this is kind of the fake into A side and then followed by push to the B side. But now it is 50 seconds and Vitality are just wasting the clock to have no smokes on B side, and they are successful in it. It all comes to the execution. One more time, one more test by Vitality. Otherwise, we're going to say that it is 1-0 for GK in terms of maps.
Good flash there from Bakute, stalling this out just a little bit longer. Bakute will take that first contact to find Snare. That's a big kill to find if you're GK, and Kimbam now can strike as well. You're looking at Horus, and Horus has been found out on the flank. That means it's all got to be Snake, it's all got to be Totson, but it's not going to happen. PM doesn't have to come into the question. It's all GK all the time. They're on map point in just an absolute flash here, Penguin. Who would have thought?
Yeah, man. And again, we said that they need to be tested, but look at the read from GK. 4 guys on B side. Even the lurk couldn't do it. Even the flank from Vitality couldn't hold it on. And now they find themselves on a 6-round lead versus the favored matchup on their own map pick. Because we're going to be going on Ankara next one, which is GK's map pick.
And we saw how they were against Execration yesterday. They have great CT setups, or those defensive setups. And you look at how they want to approach that map, that you really worry about Vitality as far as this veto is concerned. Set up into A, and it's all been heard by GK. PM now up to bat here. Quickscope doesn't land, and Slayer, Snake, Horus, they all find their men. The Vitality do stay alive for just a little bit longer. We've seen them have some incredible comebacks in their domestic competition. But this one would be one for the history books, Penguin, that's for sure.
Down 9-3 to make it 9-9. Of course, we can see it happen because we've seen EP, by the way, Vitality were up 9-4 or 9-5, and then suddenly just Evolution Power flips it and went to an overtime. So probably Vitality has things in their pockets to bring this back. And yes, they still have hopes, but GK, in terms of everything, they're better. When we've seen Vitality hitting the shots, the round went easy for them. And now GK trying to change the pace, but look at this, a fast B-side push, and Kimbam already done. You know anything about it, and Bakyu gets Horus out of the picture and makes it 4-on-4. Now, after the Snare kill, I would say that this round should be going to their favor, but look at this unleash from Pipe that finds one. And Snare is here to save the day for Team Vitality and makes it a 3-on-2. Attack timeout has been pulled by GK. Probably a change in their playstyle needs to be there. But will we see another clutch from them after this kill by Duct1 on Slayer?
Yeah, it's a big kill to find from Duct1. 2-on-2 now. One more smoke. Make that a 1-on-2. That chip has been very solid for GK in this first map. And now is to produce yet another clutch. A 1-on-2 in total. He knows that Totson and Snare are around this corner. There are no flanks. There are no lurks. It's all right in front of him. That chip considering a reposition, and Vitality still have not planted that C4. Nice little bit of movement, cutting down distance now. Totson will be spotted, and Totson will find the kill. Another round notched for Vitality as they inch closer and closer. 4 rounds needed now to really close that gap, to push overtime. And now we can get that timeout in play. You know, Penguin, I'm curious to get your take on this. What do you really talk about if you're GK right now? Because there are definitely some issues at hand. It's how they're dealing with pace. How do you adapt in this circumstance?
I mean, we've seen 2 wins in a row by Vitality, and both of them were fast rounds. One was on A side, one was B side. Let me tell you, the GK players, they weren't aware. We've seen Kimbam with a flash nade, or if it's a flash and nade on his hand.
That set up in place for a second phase.
Yeah, they need to be aware of these fast rounds. I believe that Vitality is also going to be slowing the pace because they know that maybe GK will do an aggressive round. The first round, they're probably going to be trying to push mid, deny some space, push along late. So Vitality needs to be a reaction, not an action in this round, because now the tactical timeout has been taken by GK. So these are the guys that need to take the action. So all Vitality needs to do is just back up, and GK needs to be aware of more of these fast pushes because it's been working very well for them lately.
Can certainly say that. I mean, when you're down this many rounds, being able to send anything and everything at your opponents because, you know, hey, we've got nothing to lose at this point. It's a bit worrying. It's a bit worrying for these guys to deal with it if you're GK. But again, just one round away from closing it out. So if it is a very gimmicky round, where, as you say, a bit more aggressive, trying to be in your face, and that gets the job done, hey, you forget about everything. You're up 1-0 in the series. You've got Ankara waiting in the wings, a map that you definitely enjoy in this tournament so far. But of course, we have to get there if you are this defense. Initial lookings is that a little bit more aggressive play from PM to get that opener, but doesn't find the flick. We'll have to reset the situation. And again, Vitality seem to be considering for something a little bit pacier, but as you mentioned, it's a bit more reactionary this time around from Vitality. They pull away. The spam through the blue doors do not land on a Bakute. And Vitality okay with slowing the pace down as they get rewarded. Snare with the freebie.
Yeah. The swing from Bakute was not the greatest thing that you do versus a sniper in mid, and now Vitality. You're having a bit numbers advantage right now. They need to get all the way 4 rounds in a row. They have to. You need 4 more. Not to win, just for the overtime. And Snare just opens it up. Makes it easier for his teammates to have this round. But still, Vitality are playing very slow. As we mentioned, they need to be very, very reactive. And now, this is exactly what they're doing. Slayer is a bit far behind, but Snare finds another on Prime. And now,
that should be it, right?
All the global side. They're going to be shuffled. Only one guy on B side, which is Kimbum. And Snare gets another one and probably going to get docked one as well. But no, docked one just shot him down. And 4-on-2. The C4 is with you now on B side. And I guess this round was successful. The overthink from GK, I would say, because they tried to go for the aggressive play. And then after that, we haven't seen a change in the play from them. It's just I tried to get a pick by Prime, and then suddenly everything just falls apart for them.
And Snare does quite a bit in that round there to cause the lurk, to cause an extra rotation over to A. Kimbum leaves the B site, doesn't even have an opportunity to play ahead of the utility. And now GK will start to feel the heat. They don't have the fallback option of another tack timeout.
Yeah.
They've got to play out these next 3 rounds of regulation. If I'm Vitality, I'm never calling that timeout. But here comes that aggressive maneuver, and oh my god, Kimbum out of nowhere with a massive triple.
Quad
ends with a quad. GK storm ahead, and you know, the possibility of a potential comeback was certainly on the cards. You know the caliber of team that Vitality is, but GK just feel like on another level right now with the level of X factor that they have.
By the way, this could be what they have discussed on their tag timeout, because as I said, there are 2 types of teams in the world. If you take a tag timeout, you immediately just go and change your gameplay and immediately just try to play aggressive, or probably just put one new strategy, or you just play passive the first round and then suddenly just surprise
game plan into play.
Surprise your enemy, because you exactly know that your opponent gonna be staying on the base, waiting what actions you're gonna be doing. But the next round, you don't usually get to see what's happening on the round, and this is exactly what happened by GK. They immediately pushed mid, Kimbum with a 4K, and just finishes it off for GK Esports on a 1-0 lead on Vitality's own map pick.
So I thought there was going to be a comeback on the cards. I know that the Vitality fans watching were maybe thinking it could be the same case as well, but that last round was insane. Just blinking, you will miss it. GK able to take them all down instantly, and they will take the first map. And as you say, very important with it being that map pick as well. What went wrong here for Vitality, Paladin?
It's anti-clutch. I mean, I hate to be that reductive, but it just feels as though so many 4-on-2s, 3-on-2s that you just say, okay, Vitality's got this one in the bag. You know, you speak about their chemistry, you speak about the firepower advantage that they have on paper, but it doesn't happen. And I think the defining factor of GK has to be PM. I mean, just unreal in that first half. So many multi-kills from him, so many potent clutches that he kind of joins hands with any player. You know, you had moments with Datchip, you had moments with Kimbum. It didn't matter what site it was on, what time was left in the round. He always found impact, and I think that's what really excites me about this GK roster moving into Ankara as well.
Exactly. Just the clutches was the biggest factor, and if you're going to be playing on the international stage, clutches is a one factor that you should be looking at, because in Crossfire we have a rule that if you don't clutch, you're not going to win, even though if you have the best strategies in the world. So I guess that was missing for them. So I think, yes, GK showed a very good performance, but that doesn't mean that Vitality is out of the picture. Yes, because next map we might be seeing more clutches. We've seen Stallions just beating Liquid on the first map, and it was quite easy. They overhyped, and then suddenly they got reverse swept when Gokin started shooting, 77 started shooting. It's going to be the same case. If Vitality's Slayer is going to be start shooting, Snare is going to be starting to shoot, we're going to be seeing a good best of 3 between both.
Yeah, Vitality just seemed to struggle a little bit in the first half. Did start to heat up, and maybe that out going into the next map, which of course is going to come up shortly. Before we get there though, we're going to go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll have map 2. Can Vitality come back into it, or will GK continue to dominate?
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights, better get right, I'm champion.
GK take the lead against Vitality in the first map here at Crossfire at EWC 2026 Day 3. That was a long one, but we got through it. Can we see now Vitality get back into this one, or will we see GK cause a bit of an upset, to be completely honest? I mean, when we look at this bracket, we look at the team of Vitality, the expectation was Vitality probably progressed through to the top 8 and one of our teams that are going to be fighting in those quarterfinals. However, suddenly GK, I mean, we saw it yesterday, right? We saw what GK were capable of,
exactly.
And they seem to have carried that momentum through to today.
Well, yeah. I mean, we were expecting that Vitality is just gonna have an easy match, and I don't want to say an easy match, a good matchup, and probably just get a favored win, 10-6, 10-7. Not saying that we're gonna be putting a GK out of the picture, but suddenly everything's changed, and now it's all GK's way. It's because the individual skills, as I mentioned, if it's not there, if it's not your day, and we've seen from the interview, yes, Vitality are the ones that we are expecting them to win, but on international stage, if you're not having the best day, if you're not having your aim, if you're not clutching, you're not going to be winning.
How are we feeling about them going into map 2, though? Is the chances high here? I mean, it's not their map pick.
Yeah, this is the time for GK to win, right? If there is a time or one of those like Doctor Strange moments where puts the number up of the one chance, this is that.
This
chance.
Is the only chance
because we move on to sub base. That's where the comfort comes back into play.
Yeah.
For the side of Vitality, and that's where comfort comes back in, chemistry, clutches, everything, all those win conditions that we speak of, that's where they crop back up. So I think that the chance is very ripe here for GK. PM is certainly feeling it. This rifle core is certainly feeling it. I think it still has to be right now for GK to carry that momentum as much as possible.
Is there anything that Vitality have to change going into this one? I know we spoke about clutching, the anti-clutch, and a lot of it does come down to those 2v1s and 1v3s and 1vxs and whatnot. But is there anything fundamentally you feel like they could do differently?
Strategic-wise, they need to play a bit aggressive, because playing more aggressive gives you more chances of just getting some kills. Probably also, I would say that having more lucky timings, which you can look for, you're probably going to go behind some few players, gives you some confidence, gives you some kills, brings your momentum back, because we've seen this on the first round where just Snake pushed immediately into a long, Slayer just pushed to mid, they got some kills, they got some hype, and then suddenly they started losing, so they started to playing passive. No, they need to play aggressive. You're already losing, nothing to lose for you, you're on the edge now, backs to the wall, and I feel that you need to show us now your gameplay. Just play your game, just go aggressive.
A chance for a key crush on the line as well. And I think in Vitality's mind, they weren't even considering that as a possibility. Yeah. And now with that pressure on, how uncomfortable do you feel in a circumstance like this is my question. Is now everything gets very real all of a sudden for Vitality.
Very real indeed. Vitality have to wake up here. They need to find a way back in, otherwise they will be eliminated. And as Paladin says, their key will be crushed here at Esports World Cup. It's map 2, it's Ankara, we've got Paladin, and we've got Penguin.
Do or die now for Vitality as they take to the offensive side. It's Snare to kickstart the proceedings here in map number 2. And he's certainly the guy that you'd want activated here. Oh, unruly spray there from Kimbum. Ductwan goes down. It's just Kimbum now. What? There is no commitment here from Vitality. They decide to pull away. Cause a rotation over to B, and now Datchip will have a chance to fight ahead.
I mean, with the TRG, he listens and he hears the steps coming out, and then suddenly just Snakes unleashes himself and gets the kill. Now it is a 4-on-2 with the plant on the line now. I mean, Vitality, they played aggressive, they played fast. We've asked, they delivered. Pine probably just wanted to have a sneak peek on Snare, but Snare just kind of just covered him before dying, and now Vitality are the ones to win this round. The opening round just goes on their way, unless Bokute with a 3 HP just does the thing, and now Kimbom just gets one, gets double, and then immediately traded by Slayer. And as you can hear, they are getting loud. The hype is here, the crowd is shouting, and the guys should be having a better game than the ones before. As we mentioned, yes, probably Pime can get the better out of Snare on Eagle Eye. Snare, we haven't seen him doing the best on Eagle Eye, but definitely he's one of the best on Ankara.
And one factor that we haven't factored into place here, Penguin, is the fact that Vitality is a French org. They're playing in Paris.
Yeah.
They've got the fans behind them. They weren't really that active in that first map of play, frankly, because it just wasn't very close. But now, starting off on the right foot, who knows how that gets into the heads of GK if this continues to spiral. I mean, Vitality have got the side selection that they're looking for, but in a man disadvantaged situation right now. And again, on a map like Ankara, 3-4 rounds on the global risk side, that's enough to get the job done, you'd like to think.
Yeah, and one more thing, that when I used to play Crossfire, you only played versus Snare. I never got the chance to play with him. But I played versus Snare for like 4 or 5 years in a row, and the only thing I told my teammates is to avoid Snare on Ankara, and we need to do one. But now talking about Snare, he dies, but gets himself and his teammates a double for Snake and Slayer. Makes it on 3-on-2. Winnable clutch for Vitality, but this is the clutches we are talking about, and GK is still on the right foot. They're not making any oversteps. They're not making any mistakes, and look at that setup, completely leaving B open for them and open for Vitality to take. And now 2 sniper setup coming out from GK could pay off, because we've seen Horus out of the picture early by the kid from that chip, and now Slayer and Snake are the 2 that should be flipping this round to Vitality.
The problem is it's a retake on B, very doable for this global risk side. PM is cheating over, or at least considering the cheat over. But as soon as the C4 goes down, that's where things get a little bit more interesting. That smoke, you'd like to think was hurt, but no rotations to come through at this point. Now they will.
They have to play Snake. They have to do one play. Snake has to just go crazy, probably push one angle. Otherwise, they're going to get sandwiched. And then, yes, exactly. He's doing it. He's trying to push to the underpass. He don't want to make any steps. And yes, he's exactly on the right foot. He's behind the players. He has the time. He has the C4 planted for him. Unstead just gets one. That chip is already out of the picture, but Prime just looks to it, and they probably gonna know that Snake might be behind him. They're trying to defuse. Prime is just trying to cover and just gets the
he got
defuse,
it!
and he got it! And Vitality just did it. And clutched it around. And a 2v3, a good plant. We've said that someone has to make a play, and Snake just steps up to the play.
Very intelligently done there by Snake. It's such a difficult decision to know when it's a tap, when it's being stuck. And the wide swing denying the bomb diffuser gives Vitality their second round, and GK now, you know, those thoughts surely have to creep in regardless of having to play on this tougher side. Things are not going their way just yet. A-centered approach now from Vitality yet again in the initial goings. And only 2 players here to deal with the problem. Ductuan and Kimbum. Ductuan completely blinded up and spotted out by Totson. Huge opener to find in, and Kimbum cannot find anything. This should be another Vitality round as they come storming back here in map number 2 here, Penguin.
Yeah, and this is exactly what we said. The first round, or the first map, wasn't a successful one for them, but definitely the second one should be better, because they haven't seen anything going right for them. And now, with a 3-0 on the line and the attack timeout early on from GK, just put some pressure on them.
Oh, no.
And now, it is still a favored matchup. Look at Bokyut's HP. He's trying to waste some time. Prime is still alive, but Dachi finds another. And Bokyut just gets another kill. Slayer is on a 1v2. Should be
No
good,
way!
But no way. This clutch goes into GK's side.
That's an unlosable round if you're
Exactly.
Vitality. You're chaining those smokes. And sure, you know, spams are coming out from Bokyut, but you should not be ever engaging in those sequences. The flank comes through, and it has a lot of potency, sure, but
Oh, man.
oh my goodness, that is a shocker of a round loss. You got a nice quick scope there from Datchip, but again, why are you swinging in that kind of a situation? There is
Just
so
wait.
much pressure. There are no flashes on the back of GK. They're not even playing forward-facing ahead of the utility in the retake. No opportunity if Vitality play that by the books, and they get punished because of it. And it does feel like we're seeing a very unorthodox Vitality today. Not the one that we saw in day 1, and certainly not the one that we saw in day 2 either.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. Unnecessary peaks from them. I mean, you just should have waited. You have the smokes. They need to push. They need to go in your crosshairs. And then you get an ease kills. But this is not the case. Bokyut just gets 2 with an 8 HP clutch for him. The USP kills are just insane. And I mean, it was a tag timeout for GK on the 3rd round. They were expecting a 3-0 for Vitality, but suddenly it's a 2-on-1, keeping their hopes alive. And now Vitality is going to be just trying to forget about what happened on the last round just to not get it in their minds. And I believe that these guys have the ability to do it. Few seconds and back into the game, and we're going to be seeing the change. That chip is having a successful game with the sniper on his hands, so probably he's going to be continuing to change the pace. But look at this. No, that chip just picks an HK, and we are seeing an aggressive round from the underpass. Two players are unleashing themselves on the underpass, and one flash is ready. And Vitality will not forward to it because Snake is just staying far, far behind.
Snake will have that opportunity with the secondary, but Doktuan does get to sneak through.
The timing?
Alongside Bakcute, and this is very quick in terms of boxing in an A offensive. And you're absolutely right. It is very quick. Vitality, not even bothering to check it. A lot slower in the opening stages here. Kimbum now comes through. Maybe there'll be a late clear of the outside of A. Minute 35, and everybody cowering away from Vitality. Horus, Snare, all standing behind, and now they back away. Sure, that late clear might come through, but it won't lead to anything for GK other than a little bit of information.
That chip is about to get tested. 4 players from Vitality. Only Snare on balcony, and this is a good spot for him.
He hears
the sniper rifle, but look at that. That chip just sees one, sees two, gets one. Horus just flicks. Snake gets the kill, but Bakcute is here to cover. One more kill on Slayer. 2 more guys on A connector, and Pime just weaves the shot, and look at this beautiful flick from this guy. Gets him out, and now Doktuan finishes Snare, and it is all on Snake with the C4. And he's trying to check the angles, and what a beautiful run from GK, and what a beautiful timing from them just to get in the A connector, and then trying to toy around with Vitality. Vitality tried to play the patience game, but it's ending on a very bad way because they're the one who makes the play, who makes the move, and that chip was in a very good position. By the way, that chip saw the top of the heads, but they didn't see him because he was on the lower ground, so he knew that they are there. He called the support, he went for the kill, he got one, but his teammates were just around.
Yeah, playing around with that information, regardless of how out of position they were as a whole, very impressive. And Snake will not find a single kill in that clutch attempt. We have an equalizing round there from GK, and the game starts to get a little bit more concerning for Vitality. Another lost round, and GK already, I'm feeling, have half the rounds needed on this side of a map like Ankara.
Yeah, definitely. Half of the rounds, 2 rounds, 2 more is needed. But by the way, we just watched how good GK are on the global side. Probably they don't have the best Black side, but we're sure that they have one of the best global side because of these guys. Bime just eliminates Snare in one of his most commonly used spots, I would say, on balcony. Gives you an edge, gives you an advantage of just crouch spam into it, but this is not the case now. Numbers disadvantage. Bakcute knows that Horus is around. He might be getting a kill, but he's still trying to fight. Horus trying to get the kill, and finally he gets it. The city is all in Vitality's control, but Pime is still alive. Gets Snake and has the information. Doktuan just trying to unleash and move forward. And look at this. Dodson with a beautiful kill on Pime. This guy needs to die, and Slayer just jumps out and gets the kill. Tries to throw double it down, but Kimbum is here to fight. Horus is still very low HP. It is 2-on-2, but it's heavily favored in favor of GK. C4 is dropped also outside, and they need to find a way to retreat it because look at this retreat from GK. They're just changing positions, playing around, and that chip is just the guy that's coming out from the whole other side from the map, and he's coming from the longest road to this C4.
He's not playing alongside Kimbum, so there are these isolated duels that Vitality can use that 2-for-1. And now Kimbum, with how much time has elapsed, he's getting a little concerned that they could be coming from a different avenue, but Vitality have not moved. They've not moved a muscle. And eventually they'll have to take a duel, and they'll gotta go into Kimbum crosshairs. Kimbum does well to find one. He's been blinded up. Does some significant damage to Horus in the meantime, though. 3 HP to Horus' name. 30 seconds left on the clock as that chip knows that the onus is on the offense. Flash in his face. He won't get swung upon, but Now he gets his gun back out. Decides to switch back over to a rifle. Make this an easier time for him. He'll even maneuver around for the flank. This might take a little bit of time. Give a little bit more of an advantage over to Horus. A headshot angle can be taken now. Datchip continue to cut down angles and realizes that Horus has to be in the back of B. Has to be behind these boxes. And Horus, as Datchip falls, get a massive clutch in their favor. On just 3 HP, Horus gets the job done.
Yeah, I mean, what a beautiful clutch. That's the clutches we've been looking for. Vitality now gets one of the most important rounds because this was going to be very, very tough for them. And he finds the kill on Datchip while he's dropping and eliminates him with the HK. A 3-2 in favor of Vitality right now. And Bakute was about to go in the scoop of Snare, but now he just backs out. And Pime just changing position. We've seen Pime just doing a lot of damage on a side. Now he changed. He's playing underpass position, just showing and giving his... Let's say he's giving his position just to retreat back and probably just play around with Vitality. All what is Vitality is doing right now, they're trying to get some information, trying to get some space, and they're taking underpass control to themselves right now. But look at GK. They're playing very, very far behind. Pime is just playing on the tower, on the B tower, and he's just trying to get some information. Bakute giving some pre-fires on the flash spot angles. I think it's a side, but I like the Vitality are dodging a side. They're trying to move away from a side because they know and they did their homework. They know that GK is usually the team that's stacking a side a lot.
Deep smokes here over onto the B side. Split potential is available on A. Calls Datchip into question, and he's caught between two angles and he's punished instantaneously. There was a flash to set up a couple of players, but Vitality have themselves a man advantage and now encroach upon this B side. It's a complete rotation here from the defense. All 4 players decide to gamble, and we've seen what happens when they've got the right bodies in the right places. As PM continues to encroach in the underpass, looking for Snake with this sniper. Quick scope lands, but Snare is still kicking, and so does Slayer. So still a 4-on-2. You think you have to favor the likes of Vitality, and they absolutely will. PM gets 1, but Vitality get a little bit more louder now as they extend the lead to 2.
Yeah, we're back again. 2 runs in favor of Vitality. After a very strong start, it was a 2-0 for them. Clutch starting to happen. Trades is starting to come. And if you need to take Pime out, you need 2 players. One to be the fish and one to get the trade. And this is exactly what is happening right now. Bakute single-handedly on his side. We're seeing the change from GK right now. They're kind of trying to play a bit stacked around B side because they're losing more on B side than they're losing on a side. And they did a very good retake on a side as well, which is a side that you usually wouldn't retake every single day. So now, a push into a side can be a good factor for them, but Horus just gets a double, makes it a triple kill. Bakute is the last one to fall, and suddenly it's all Vitality's way.
Yeah, you can't lose this one, that's for sure. Datchip will find 1, but it doesn't matter. Vitality now cooking together a wonderful offense, and it comes off the back of spotting a couple of players in mid, saying we're not going to engage with this, we're going to use that information to our advantage, cause the rotation straight away, and instantaneously get themselves their 5th round. And now, I mean, you got to consider that early timeout usage from GK isn't available anymore.
Yeah.
There isn't a way to stem the bleeding if you're GK. You have to suffer against this tempo start-stop from Vitality. And now, a chance for this Blacklist side to find yet another round at the tail end.
Vitality just changing over and over their strategies. They went to A side, they went to B side, now they're back to B side, but they took the bridge control silently and they put Snake in a very, very sneaky position trying to get some kills, but nobody is there on the side. Snake is just trying to check, nobody's here. They definitely know that now is a stack on A side from GK. GK, they don't have any information that someone might be there unless one guy just makes a step on bridge and Pime will hear. Pime will listen to these steps and he will act, but no Nobody there. A good, beautiful call coming out from them. But Pime just had an idea now. It might be a B side. He's trying to take a peek and now whiffs the shot. Horus is back alive. The 9th for himself. And the first for Kimbom on this side. And it is a 4-on-4. Post-plant retake between both teams. And now GK, they need this round.
Flanks on flanks, though. Coming up from Ductuan. He'll get another one. And he still have himself the man advantage for GK. And as Datchip also produces another flank, he'll be coming straight through his smoke. It's been spotted, but they're all blinded. Slayer and Snare don't have any vision.
He will block
and Datchip, that doesn't help it either. GK get themselves their 3rd round. It felt like Vitality had enough of a jump on that B side, especially after catching PM off guard. That's the danger man down, but this is what happens. And, the B side, pretty easy to plant on, but pretty difficult to defend once you play in that post.
Yeah. I mean, it's B-side. That's the retakes that you would be looking for. And look at this. Another change. Kimbom just playing aggressive.
Shot.
Gets dodged and Snare should have picked this angle. Pime just find another Snare with a kill. Bokyu trades immediately. Snare's falls from Vitality's team is all up to Slayer and Snake once again. But this time with the C4 in hand, Slayer's trying to make the move. He can have a very good timing behind one of the players. Like Kimbom just immediately gets the sight on him. And Slayer just eliminates Bokyu, loses half HP. But still, it's a kill for them. And Snake is still trying to cover Slayer. This guy is finally activated 9-5 and he needs to go more crazy if you want to win this round for his team. Datchip is just playing in a very sneaky angle. If nobody checks this, it is going to be a double kill. But Snake is probably having an idea that someone might be there, but there is no steps, nothing. If the plant just goes, it is an end round for them. And already Datchip just sees one, gets the kill on him, and Slayer is the last of all. And a good, perfect trigger discipline from this guy and gets the kill and gets the round for GK. A well-played half by both teams, I would say, because it was going one-way side in favor of Vitality. Vitality had a couples of consecutive rounds, but it didn't turn out to be very good for them. 5-4 on the Blacklist side is not the best, but still a win on Vitality side.
At least they have a couple more clutches going their way, Vitality, at the very least. But as we kind of mentioned, 4 rounds on the Global Risk side for GK is certainly manageable for a sweep here. And what a story it would be for this squad to surprise here at EWC. Completely stun Vitality. And look at this. Pacey up into this B bomb site. Slayer has arrived as quickly as possible, but 2 players have already crossed in. Smoke will now fly through, and we've got a 10-player fight on this B bomb site.
A leg shot now from Pime and immediately got dinged. Damage for damage. It's all fair and square right now. 4-on-4 and 2 low HPs on both sides. And still, Datchip is having a very good sneaky angle. He's trying to do some push into the side, but look at this.
Gotta go.
There. Datchip is full flash, another is just all of a trades. Datchip just makes it double. Someone needs to kill. Someone needs to help. And Bokyu is here. Duct1 is ready. Horus is the last one alive, and Bokyu just finishes it off. And now we are all square. 5-5. And what a good hold coming out from these guys.
That's a great initial game plan to just completely send it towards that B bomb site. And the retakes have been easy in like 3-on-3s and 2-on-2s, but when they're all 5 players alive, plenty of players to watch every single avenue of attack. And Vitality don't have that incision that way back into the round. You got to give credit to GK, man. I mean, the game plan has been pretty solid. The individuals even more so. And again, trying to pressure Tatsin straight away. They don't like what they see, though. They move back over to A, where there still are only 2 players, Tatsin and Slayer, having to do the heavy lifting. Yeah, execution is definitely available. That smoke, that lurk smoke is still very useful to call that 3rd rotation in, but look at that. Snake doesn't bite. He decided to bolster up this A site, and here comes the hit. Trying to go charging into the crosshairs of the defense. The trades are pretty decent here for Vitality. Still a 3-on-2, still potency for Snake to fire away, and he seems to have done just enough. Pistol kill comes out for PM, and Horus decides to go advancing through that smoke, brings it into a one-on-one. It's sniper on sniper, and the kill should be there for Snare, you'd think, but PM out of nowhere with the 1-on-2. Absolutely instrumental player.
Last bullet.
No, like just no opportunity there for GK. You'd like to think, but PM rabbit out of a hat.
Oh man. I mean, Horus had nothing for him to just go crazy and just try to go fast. He could have waited snared, he could have double peeked. No way for him to get the doubles. He's not a rifle, he's a sniper player. He's mostly gonna get one and die or get traded immediately, but that's not the case for this round. Well played on by GK. I still see that him or Prime is one of the best players I've seen on Stream B so far. This guy is just consistent in every single map. And now he's 13-7, almost 2-point OKD versus Vitality, one of the best teams that we've ever witnessed on the West. Now, GK, they are just 4 rounds of crushing Vitality's key in one of the biggest upset, I would say. I mean, we've mentioned that GK might be just getting crushed yesterday and just to be the first team to leave.
Yeah, we thought that, they would have lost to Execration yesterday, and that wasn't to be. This is a team that is dialed in from a strategic perspective and from the individual perspective as well. You can't deny that they have really put this one together. Still a lot of work to do, though. This job is not finished. Snake still leaning over to potentially rotating it over to A, but instead it's Hudson leaving Slayer on an island. This is going to be an impossible situation. He's blinded up, and he does well to find 2, mind you. There's still a chance for Vitality on a retake, but Bomb should be able to go down, and this clutch, another clutch opportunity for GK, has to be squandered somehow by Vitality.
Yeah. We've seen the sandwich, 3 players from the back, and this is exactly the best call because it's not going to go well if you go from CT, but now that chip just gets the kill and he's playing way more aggressive. Now he can get more, he can get double. And finally, Snakes just trades, and it is suddenly a 2-on-2. 2 players, each one is going to be a 1v1, and now Kimbomb just gets one, knows where Snake is, and another clutch goes for GK Esports.
I mean, it was never going to be an easy task to retake, even in a man-advantage situation on that A site, and GK, man, it just feels like the chemistry is so much more in their favor right now. They're making the right decisions. They're tethering off of one another at every step of the way. And now look at what it does to Vitality. Completely silent on their half of the server. 3 rounds away now, or GK. Snare has to fire off a shot, and he doesn't land the quick scope. Ducked on. Really pacey on this B play. Snake is arriving. Horus is here as well in terms of splitting in. But this surely should be red. You'd like to think Horus with another lurk. Another opportunity to cause a bit of a ruckus to rustle up this offense. And they're really pacey on boxing them in. No room to really plant, and yet somehow Ducktwan's going to get this down. But look at this. Kimbomb's watching. Same goes for Bakyu, but everyone gets cleared. Slayer, Horus, they both split in for 4 kills, and Totson will find another one. That is one of the cleanest rounds of Global Risk we've seen on this map of Ankara.
Yeah. Good run. I mean, good timing by these guys. I mean, the sync is there, and we've talked about the chemistry that's been with Vitality's team and these guys, how good they are when it comes to such rounds, and these just delivered. A 7-6 is not still, it's anybody's take. This map, these guys, this game is just insane. Probably there was a tech pause, I would say, from Vitality, because we are seeing the players' hands are off their keyboards, and now Stray is having the pep talk with them. We need to change the pace, because Snare is not finding the success of getting the first bloods. And this is one of the factors that you need to have on Ankara, because I've mentioned that we used to dodge Snare on Ankara because he's good in getting these kills. He's good in just changing his style, going into the underpass. If he's not successful, he goes to tunnels, he goes to peeks from A connector, he gets to peek from the A side, B side, bridge. A lot of angles for him to use, but he haven't checked or went to any of these angles to just check if he's going to be able to get the kills. And now Stray is just going for the captain. He's just going for Snake. Trying to talk to him, and now the guys are hyped. I love when you take a tactical timeout and then suddenly you clutch around. It goes in your favor in way better rounds because you get to talk and you get to have a better momentum, a better mentality than just going with a loss into this round. And now GK also have a chance to talk. Snare is just trying to relax. He's not having the best days. But if he's the one that gets back, then suddenly we might see Vitality trying to reverse sweep. And as you mentioned, if we are going to sub-base, it's going to be the sweet spot for them to reverse sweep it. So GK, if there's only one chance to close this game, it's going to be only the next 3 rounds.
Yeah, everything's in the palm of their hands at this point. You did well on your global risk side to produce 4 rounds. You've done enough offensively, at least so far. And you just have to see if you can convert what's right in front of you. Slow down from GK now. That pacey attempt didn't look as well done as you'd like to think, but look at Vitality. It's their turn to get into Akon as quickly as possible. The crunch onto Ductwan and Kimbom are right around the corner. Ductwan in the open, and Snake will capitalize. And they realize Kimbom's in the corner. Huge couple of kills to find. Completely cuts the map in half for GK. What do you do in this 3-on-5? PM's got to lead the way. He's got to lead the charge as they move over to B. Not having the number of bodies that you'd been hoping for makes this that much more difficult. Look at the gamble. I mean, at this point, Vitality know that the Hail Mary that has to come from the other side is this B bomb site. Chip trying to get lucky with some of these pre-fires. Same goes for PM, at least in terms of the pre-aims. He'll vault himself up. Here's a couple of shots off, and he'll find the first. Oh, nice to do a little bit of damage on the second, but that'll be it. Slayer leading the charge. 19 kills for him in this comeback attempt. And they are pulling this team together, kicking and screaming, come hell or high water.
Yeah. A good comeback from Slayer. He didn't have his best map on the first one. And now he's back 19-9. Snare still a bit quiet. Horus had a couple of good rounds on the first half, and now he's back to being quiet. And the change in the pace. Fast round.
Again?
But he's well read. I guess they heard them. The rotation is coming. Only Snare is going to be on side. Horus is having a good angle. He gets one. He want to get the another. The spray is good. The triple is coming. Horus want to make it a quad and leaving them all dead. And now the push was unsuccessful from GK.
Cute is there to at least cut this down, but it doesn't happen. And that is the round of the tournament you'd like to think for Vitality in some ways, and it's all off the back of Horus. Massive triple kill, and I think you're right. I think there was a sound cue given. Something clicks there for Vitality to say, okay, send the entire cavalry. And GK just gets stunned. They've tried so hard to be pacey on this B take, and it's not worked out just yet. And I mean, beyond that first round of the second half, it hasn't worked out, mind you. And the wind has very swiftly gone out of the sails of this side of GK. Wondering where it went all wrong. And you'd like to think the momentum, the confidence that they had, also in the rear view mirror.
Again, we are seeing Vitality just denying the map control for GK. As we can see, Snake is just playing at that chip angle, as we've seen from him, and only Slayer with the 19-9 on a TRG on the hand, just trying to defend this side. Will Pime just get the kill? Oh, Slayer just gets his head. A golden headshot to Slayer. Just opens this round for Vitality, and now he's trying to find another. Still, we're seeing one guy only on the bridge, and nobody's there from Team Vitality, so it's technically a 5-on-3 on this side. But look at Slayer, he whiffs the shot, but okay,
no.
He legs him.
It's a bit too aggressive for me.
Yeah, and the nades just eliminates Ductwan and makes it a 3-on-4 right now. But look at the lure coming out from Cute. He can just get 2 players.
This is huge. Oh my goodness, the lineup is there for Cute. And all of a sudden, the tables turn. 3-on-2 now for GK in a blink of an eye. Snake is there on a quick flank. And Horus is here on the rotation. I mean, these are the guys that you want in the clutch. They've been pretty solid in these 2vx's. Horus has now been spotted. Flash out in the spawn. Slows the pace of this down. Another flash there to Prime and Bakcute. But here comes Snake coming in from Khan. He coats one. Horus will find another. It's all in the jet chip. Bomb halfway gone. Pulls it into a one-on-one into the pistol. Bullets going every which way. And Gatchip continues to just stall for time. 7 HP. And I think he's just done it. The stick coming through for Horus, but it's not going to happen. GK equalize.
Yeah. I mean, it was kind of close, I would say, because Horus got some good kills. Snake just didn't check the corner. He was right under this guy. I mean, he was under the stairs and he was there, but Snake, he didn't just have a clear look on this angle and coasted him around. And now GK are suddenly back in the game. And we always see a couple of rounds, consecutive rounds, I would say, from Vitality. And then suddenly everything just swings back to GK's favor. And now the control is with GK's A-long control, A-connector control. The C4 is dropped on the quarters. Nobody's doing any crazy plays. Again, a stack from Team's Vitality on his side. I guess this is a do-or-die round for any of the teams. If they make it, they win. If Vitality just gets this round, it is going to be in their heads and they can just close the game on a win. And if GK is just trying to go through this stack, I would say, then that means that Vitality just had nothing left in the tank to show. And this is exactly what we're going to be seeing. 1 minute and 25 seconds. And the C4 is going to be picked right now by Bakcute. Probably he's the closest to the C4 because I've seen this setup before from GK and they usually end on his side.
Vitality have the right men in the right place. 3 players here. But the execution can still be deadly regardless of a 3-player stack. And now Slayer's trying to get aggressive. This is a little overzealous for my liking. He still finds Ductom. At least he tags him up, but he doesn't find the kill. And that should be the prime chance for GK to take this A site. Flashes go every which way. Totson now hot under the collar, pushed to the back of the site, and he'll fall. Snake is here on the retake, but he hits the deck as well. Horus and Snare have arrived, though. It's still into the 2-on-2. 40 seconds left on the clock. Smoke not up in the base. So there's no real safe haven just yet. Head spotted, couple head spotted into the 1-on-1. Snare, the hero of Vitality, thrust into the clutch. The gun's gone dry for Bakcute. He switches back over to the pistol. He's got to find Snare. He finds him in the air, but he can't connect. It's Vitality to get that 9th round, to get map point, to keep themselves alive here in EWC.
Yeah, and finally Snare is clutching his back. One of the most important rounds, probably a whiff from Slayer, but he did the damage enough for them to take the round. And now it is 1 round away from getting this map and going to map 3. We expected a fast game from Vitality, but probably they needed some time to get back into the game. A 9-8 lead, and again, a stack onto B-side at the beginning of the round, and then they switch it to A-side. It was a very close one, because I said this is the game's round. If you win this round, you win this game. If you don't get it, then it is going to be unfortunate for you, because if you're second A-side and they still push and you lose, what else you got to stop this push from GK? And now GK are we can see that the guys are pressured. They are playing way different than the first map. And they're going to be going to the sweet spot of Vitality. I feel worried for them. Because if you give Vitality the momentum, if you give them back the hope, then you need to be ready for the consequences. And I believe you said it. If they have one chance of just closing this series, it is going to be on Ankara. Otherwise, no way these guys are gonna get it out from sub-base.
Yeah, you could say that again. Aggression now in terms of the re-clear here from Vitality. They catch out 1, they catch out 2. Couple of long-range duels that they don't want to have a hand in, so they'll back away, sitting on this man advantage. Options now running dry for GK, but that certainly helps. Slayer goes down, and that's the A side open for business. They got to get the hell out of there. But Horus keeps the man advantage alive. There's that early rotation here from Snare. Pistol out. C4 trying to go down. They're going to charge him. They're going to charge him down. And Snare finds a necessary kill. Surely this is it. Ducked one on the 1-on-3. He knows Horus is here, but he hasn't swatted out the flank, and Totten will find it. Vitality stay alive. We've got a series on our hands, Penguin.
Yes, that's it. Vitality just makes it to the map 3. And things are worrying for GK because the clutches are not going their way. Now Vitality are back, and I guess that's what you love to see from them. A good map from both. You take their own map pick, they take your own map pick, and it's all square. One-on-one when it comes to maps. But Vitality, I mean, from 7-5 down, just clutching a couple of rounds. Snare just saving the grace on this round, getting the kill into suddenly going into sub-base. I mean, sub-base have been a very, very strong map for Vitality lately.
You got to think about the fashion in which they did it as well. Doing it on the global risk side as well, that makes things an absolute nightmare for GK. They're going to be thinking about this map and how it's ended a number of times. And yet still, Vitality holds strong and now have an opportunity for the reverse sweep that would send ripples through the Crossfire community.
I think we knew this one was going to go all the way and go the distance, right? We knew what Vitality are capable of, but there were certainly opportunities there for GK. And have they missed their chance and missed their opportunity to take out a giant like Vitality to get themselves into the quarterfinals? So, I mean, only time will tell, but that third map is definitely going to be a scary one now for GK. You said it. This could be just their one chance, that Doctor Strange moment. But, well, GK, when they had the lead, they just weren't able to really capitalize on some of those moments here, Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, GK, they were playing very, very good, I would say, on the mid game, but early on, they weren't that successful, and late on the game, also, they weren't successful. They only tried to kind of get under the skins in the middle of the game, but Vitality, they started very strong. Vitality, usually, they get 1, 2, 3 consecutive rounds. Maybe they fall a bit, and then after that, they get another consecutive rounds, which gives them the lead. And I mean, the clutches finally are going both ways. I'm not saying that's all on Vitality's side, that's because still we've seen a clutches, we've seen a retakes from GK, but when it went both ways, we've seen Vitality just winning, and Snedge has just won one of the most important clutches when he got the kill on this A side plant. So otherwise, I would say that GK could have won it, because if he went onto a stack, and imagine you go into a stack and you win, that means that I think it was going to be very, very tough for them.
A lot of Vitality fans watching as well. Do you think that adds maybe not just to the pressure, but also gives them confidence here?
Oh, it definitely does.
Yeah.
Did you hear that crowd pop after they won that map? I mean, now everything is in their favor to get the job done. I mean, the pressure now mounts for GK. They realize, oh, wait a second. This is Vitality all of a sudden. You forget the nameplates going into that first map, and now all of a sudden, you know, it's Horus, it's Slayer, it's Snare on the other side of the server, and you say, okay, we've got to keep our wits about us now that we move into sub-base.
Well, sub-base is where we're heading next. We're all tied up 1-1. Who is going to be progressing through to the quarterfinals, and who is going to have that key crush? There's only one way to find out. We have to get into that third map. Before we do so, though, we're going to take a little bit of a break. When we come back, map 3. Don't go anywhere.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Welcome back into Crossfire at EWC 2026, and we're into our third map of the best of three. We've got Vitality versus GK. Winner goes through to the quarterfinals, loser goes home, and their key will be crushed. And now we're heading into Subbase as well, which has been one of my probably favorite maps to watch. I think it's just kind of like close quarters that we see a lot of these engagements happening as well. But who does it favor is going to be my question to you guys.
I think it has to be Vitality. I mean, the momentum has very swiftly swung into their favor, and we spoke about the ace in the hole that they had if they got into map 3 situation, that they get Subbase, that they get comfort, and now you add this extra pressure that, you know, they've got the crowd on their side, the confidence is running high, and you haven't even really had a big snare pop off yet. The fact that that's still a possibility, Penguin, is a real worry if I'm in the GK camp.
And you're going to Subbase, so you're probably going to be seeing him popping off, and probably also you're going to be seeing Slayer playing way more better. That's why I'm saying it's the sweet spot for Vitality, and one of the probably most played map, they have the most wins on it as well. So if they can't win on Subbase, then definitely I would say the GK is better, but still it's very tough right now for GK.
Remember, this is a very important one as well for the club championship. If Vitality were to lose here, I think that would pretty much ruin any sort of outside chance of them winning the club championship. Even if it is a small percentage, they need to see Vitality still progress through to these quarterfinals and probably win the entire Crossfire competition to give them that opportunity. As for GK, they're a little bit lower down in the club championship rankings, but of course, being able to pop up a little bit further is always going to benefit you for the prize pool at the end of things. But for these players on the stage, it is more about getting the respect of your peers, getting the prize pool for yourselves as well, because of course there is going to be $2 million on the line just for competing here in Crossfire, and getting closer and closer towards that 750,000 that you get for first place, as both teams roar to life now as it looks like we are about to load into the server. So a chance for me to step away. We've got Paladin and Penguin. It's Vitality versus GK.
Club championship on the line, tournament lives on the line here at EWC. And Vitality have all the cards in their favor. They have an offensive start as well. Look at Snare just charging into B straight away. They want to set the tempo. Ductwan is there for a couple of trades, but Bakute from the heavens still finds a little bit more of an impact. Advantage goes GK, and advantage will stay GK as Snake has got to come up with a big clutch, but that's exactly what you're looking for from your global risk side.
Yeah, I mean, a fast round. At the beginning of the game, I mean, why not just go for a try? Maybe it helps. Maybe it sets the tone, as you mentioned. But GK were on the right foot and just stopped it from happening. 1-0 in favor of GK, and they are starting strong already. I guess this is the first time we are seeing GK just winning the first round, because both of the maps they lose the first round, and now the nades are trying to hit. GK are trying to play a bit defensive. They might be having some kind of sneaky plays on defense. Kimbam is just pushed all the way till the end, just to deny any sneaky plays, any clowny plays from this angle, and to deny the split onto Woods. 1 minute and 45 seconds right now on the clock. And still, I would say that Vitality, you're just trying to play slow. The first round didn't work out, and now look at Snare. He's trying to take this control. Ductwan is just in a sneaky angle. The nades is gonna rain. It's not gonna hit. The pre-fires, it's not gonna hit. Ductwan is still alive. Snare is just preparing to flash onto the lockers. He misses the flash, and Snare is just fully blind. He needs to back up. Probably the smoke just made him miss the smoke, but now the fake is just happening, and a push into his side. That chip with the counter flash. He's trying to get the kills. He's fully blind. He gets one. Can he make it a second? But no, Slayer just trades. Pine just gets one. Snare on the side. Gets one of the rotating players. And now it is a 3-on-3 with an HP advantage in favor of Vitality, and also a side advantage, because it's very hard to get into the side with such HPs on your side.
Yeah, how can you get down that slope safely is the real question, especially with Snake being that snake in the grass. A chance for him to let loose, and PM is just off the mark in terms of the refrag potential, and it's now up to Kimbum. 1-on-2 from him, spots a little bit of a head in the back of the Rockets, and he's not able to capitalize, so that feels like his chances kind of being whittled away, and you can kind of see the swipe of the knife as a wave of the white flag. As Vitality do respond in kind. They do it off of a slower play. But you can already see there is method to the madness for this squad. A fake over to that B bomb site completely catches GK off guard. It isolates Ductwan, or rather Datchip, alone on that B bomb site, and he has to come up with some big heroics. And while he does do well to find one, I mean, what else can you really ask for him when he's on an island?
Yeah. Now, back on board. All fair and square, and Vitality just trying to take the woods control, but Horus just spotted, trying to get the kill. A couple of sprays, Pine. What? Gets Thompson in smoke, and this guy, okay, what's wrong? I mean, Thompson wasn't even in the fight. It was between Horus and Kimbum, and now Thompson is the guy who loses his life in return, and Ductwan also just dies to snare scoop, and it is all fair and square, 4-on-4, but I would say that Kimbum's HP is giving a slight advantage in favor of Vitality.
Slight advantage indeed. 3-player stack over towards that B site. Smoke up deep to set up a little bit of a bit of space over here on A. And again, Datchip is going to have to do some heroics. This time he doesn't really even have setup for himself. There are players blinded up, but great opener there from Horus. A lot of pressure applied now to this global risk side. PM is able to get out of the vent safely to find one, but it's Snake with the immediate response. These riflers have really stepped up where, you know, a player like Snare, who's supposed to be your star, hasn't necessarily shown up in the fashion that you would have hoped for. And the fact that Vitality can be playing their B game like this is very, very impressive.
Yeah, I mean, every time Snare is having success on the quad boxes, is going to give a free side to Vitality, and this is exactly what's happening. He's usually going there. He's usually taking the control single-handedly. He gets one, he takes another, and he makes his teammates feel comfortable pushing into this side. And the side is an easy take. 2 rounds on Vitality, both on a side, but it's all because of Snare's rotation, fake, control, just call it whatever. But he's delivering on this side. Now he switched up, trying to play aggressive in this smoke, trying to find an angle, countering the smokes. And now all of Vitality players are trying to find picks. 1 in machine, 1 outside BC, and 3 guys are just trying to pick A down. And still, I think if Datchip continues to play the same way on his side, it's going to be a hell of a match for him versus these teams. Now he's trying to smoke. He's already given his position, and they're trying to pick him already. Snare, Horus, both they know his angle, and he's still not hitting any of these shots.
I mean, they're such difficult shots to hit. You'd like to think he'd have some sort of support, but actually Vitality pull away. They had a very advantageous positioning, but it doesn't happen, and now they decided to pull away, split back into B. A lot of pressure. I say B, but they want to slip back through the vents instead, and that gives a chance for Datchip to let loose. Big double from him, man. Advantage goes back to GK. It feels like Vitality are kind of split, caught between 2 mines, and that indecision cost them. They still have a little bit of a route over here to A, and, you know, once they get that bomb down, maybe a bit of something to extend this lead to 3. But a bit of a lull in the action now as this global risk side can continue to cut down some space, make Vitality feel uncomfortable. Ductwan and Kimbum looking to trade into the upper portion of this A site. Yeah, nice shot there from Snake, but there's a straight from the trade from Ductwan. He leaves it all up to Bakute in the 1-on-1. And Slayer has no idea where Bakute's gone off to, but switching back up to this high ground makes it a little bit easier to defend this bomb. Smoke will go up. There's a stick come through. He has the opportunity to do so. He'll take the duel, and now Bakute knows He should know what's coming on the other side. He's going to stick this all the way, and it's got to be all this thing, and it comes through. GK will get the clutch in the one-on-one. Vitality stunned after Slayer made the right call.
Yeah. I was about to say the only counter for that is if you are having a smoke and Slayer is just completely unlucky. This guy had a smoke and he just smokes him off. Smokes the C4 off and just gets the defuse done for the teammate. Bocute with a clean clutch. Now, I mean, it was a tough round for Vitality, I would say. It was 2v3. Snake just tried to play aggressive and look at that. Snare with a double. Immediately just followed by a kill onto Snake. And Bime just loses his life to Snake, and that chip is the only one to get a kill on Horus. But already the damage is done. The site is here. Vitality are playing very fast. They're playing very good. They're on the right foot. And they are about to get this round as well. One more for Vitality. And let me tell you that these fast rounds are going good on this side at the beginning of the game. But now suddenly it turned out to be a very good and successful round. Snare just is out of his mind right now. This guy is finally activated, and you mentioned that there is still an angle for this guy to wake up, and if it does, then Vitality is going to be having a quite easy matchup versus GK.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Vitality with this man advantage, or round advantage, I should say, can stretch their legs a little bit more in the default. Slayer looking to get into the vent as swiftly as possible. But let's not extend just enough there from PM to get a bit of damage down onto his counterpart. But not enough to get the kill. Slow down again at this point from GK and from Vitality. Nobody going for a crazy opening maneuver. 10:35 left on the clock. As Vitality have a look-see over on this B side of things. Nothing spotted just yet, so Woods control now the priority for them instead.
Snare is just trying to find these angles. Todzin was successful. Kimbomb just to fall on Woods is the pick. And now also Todzin just takes a lot of damage, but still Snake just gets one more. Ducked one is to fall, and Vitality finally are back in action, and Snare just gonna get his head chopped by Bocute. And look at this Bime, just has no idea. Horus is dead, but he gets a double anyway. And Snake just trades him out. And it is a 2-on-2. Bocute is very low HP, just dies to Slayer and gets him out of the picture, and that chip kill Snake still alive. It's a clutch between both, the whiffs between both, but Dachim is still alive, and this is a clutch that you need to win. I mean, this should be a round for Vitality. It was a 5-on-3, 2 picks. Snake and Todzin just got both kills for you. Yes, Snare just went in so deep before the guys are going into the side, but still, it's a 5-on-3. You can take risks, you can push sides, and in the end, GK will clutch.
That is a very unlikely round there from GK, but they're thanking their lucky stars that they're at this point. 3 rounds again on this Global Risk side is no easy feat. And a chance to potentially amass 4 or 5 would be even better. Doesn't matter how they nab these rounds on the defense, but as long as they are, I think they'll be happy. And another opener now for PM. A chance for Slayer to equalize, but Kimbomb will add another to the list. 2-man advantages here for GK. And Vitality now felt like they had a lot of momentum going into the final rounds of this half, but wins now being removed from their end of the sails.
Yeah. That's a round to forget for Vitality. Horus is trying to still claim this angle, but it's not going to be happening because Kimbomb is just having the good right angle and a flawless round. Only Bocute to take the damage from GK and put his team ahead. Now, Vitality needs to counter this boost. They need to put someone very fast on these tunnels, vents, call it whatever. Otherwise, it's going to be tough for you to use this blades. Double nades into Woods just does some damage, and Horus just takes a little while crossing it. It's a fast side push, we would call it. And that chip is not ready. Again, Horus just crosses, tries to find the kill, just falls. Dachip is still alive. The flashes are not good. They flashed him, but the teammates are still trying to alive. But look at Snake, just swings to get double. And what an unfortunate round for GK. But Pime is still alive. He's still here. He wanna clutch. Snare has an idea where this guy is. They're both trying to fight, but Dodson gives away his position and gets the kill. What an unfortunate flash from GK. No way. You flash your teammate like that and you can see that he was just so angry. Why you flash me? I was there. I was having a good round. And then suddenly just Snakes gets the kills.
I mean, it's so unfortunate that a team flash is essentially the reason why they lose. That chip does so well to find one to stay alive for as long as he does. The rotations were there. I mean, maybe that chip gets another if he has his wits about him, but another 5-on-3 now for GK. Make that a 5-on-2. They smother the offense over there on B. And now Vitality in a 2-on-5. Here you've got Horus and Slayer. But you've lost plenty of teammates around you. Information given up to that chip. GK understand that a split is possible on A. Horus has gotten a lot of space here, mind you. But he's been found out by Kim. So that should get out. Last round of the half, and GK look to steal a slight lead. And they'll be very happy with how they've produced on this global risk side. They have, again, similar to that of Ankara, all the keys to the castle to close this out and put that reverse sweep conversation to bed.
Well, they got a lead, but that's on the global side, I would mention, because usually we know that sub-base is blacklist-sided map and you would see a better gameplay from them, but look at that, Vitality just gives no chances. They take machine control immediately at the beginning of the round, and Kimba want to be doing the fast retake. You want to be taking this side, and he knows that the guys are just going back. They left it wide open. Just Slayer took the damage, and they will bear the consequences of this push. Slayer just changing his position completely. That chip just knows where Todzin is. He might go off guard, but Duct One just gets a kill on Horus. He opens it up. And now Todzin trades it back. He's full blind. He's trying to get a kill. Duct One is the one to find. Snake is still here. Kimba is fighting two players. He's still here. Snake needs to get his gun, and Pime just finds one and another with an 8. And he's all done to Snare. A 1v2. Kimbom is half HP or below half HP, and now he's taking the full long way to rotate back into this side. And Pime is still alive with an HK this time because he knows that his teammate is not healthy enough to get the kills, to get the rounds, and both of them, they're staying on the same angle. So it's a good chance for Snare to hit a quick scoop, to switch into a USP and get a kill.
Snare now all the way back into the rafters has a chance at a free kill, but Kimbom spotted him. And the strafe back is right there for the offense. Again, trying to compound on this lead. It's pacey from them, but it's methodical in their approach of taking that B bomb site. And there is just no chance at a response, a rebuttal from Vitality. And now they have to stew in their own juices around or a 2 down.
Yeah, and now an important round for Vitality because I don't think if they get these things in their heads, it's going to be very tough. And if they lost this round, they need to take attack timeout. They still have it. They haven't used it. Neither do GK. Both of teams, they have their attack timeouts. Last map. Tournament on the line. Key crushing on the line. Club championship for Vitality is on the line. Everything is just going unwell for these guys. And now look at the slow plays from GK. I like these guys, how they play. I honestly expected a better gameplay coming out from Vitality on the sub base, but these guys are just changing the pace. We're playing aggressive. You play defensive. We play defensive. I play aggressive. I'm setting the tone. It's not you. Now Pime is just moving. Pime, PM, whatever you call him. He's just going to deliver. And the smokes and the counter smokes is ready.
Oh, spam is good. Spam is really good. And PM will find one. It's a blind shot of faith that gets rewarded, and instantaneously Vitality call a timeout for the following round. An advantage here for GK. Another opportunity at compounding on this lead. They decide to maneuver back over to A. They can do that with the woods control that they've established. And now Horus, Snare have a boatload of work to do. Shot up from Snare. He'll find the quick scope for the first. They still have a player alive on the ramp to help out in this situation. 49 seconds left on the clock. Eventually that C4 has got to hit dirt. Nade will be good to soften up that chip here. It's not enough for a kill, but Snake will find one more. Slowly, Vitality are whittling down GK. It's just a matter of time in their minds to close this round out as they force GK to stay on A. Plenty of utility used and plenty remaining, but PM finds one to bring it at 3-on-3. Snake has been found out on this flank, but he's blinded up a player. Now Horus and Slayer can come charging through, but it's Bakcute with one more. And there's the kill from PM. It puts it all on his Slayer in the 1-on-2 as he tries desperately to keep Vitality hanging in a balance, but PM with the pistol. 3-round lead now for GK as they march closer and closer to the playoffs.
I mean, that's a round to lose. That's an option. Yeah, look at Snake's face, man. He's just like, okay, that happened. I mean, Snare, yes, you know that this guy's on ramp, but you know that this guy's just, he's not gonna let you walk away with the skills. You could have dodged it, you could have went away, you could have stayed with your teammates, you could have just played it better, but everybody on GK are on the right foot. Now they get the round, now they get the clutch, and Bakcute just did a good damage. He stayed alive, he got on kills. He was the only one healthy from this GK's roster, and he did the right call. Putting the low HP guy on the rocket just to play on a headshot angle just gives you an advantage of just wasting some time, just toying around with the team, and then suddenly you find your teammates just killing everybody. Snake just got off guard as well. He was just completely isolated. He tried to play the sneaky game. He tried to play the fake game that I'm flashing, I'm taking from here, look at me guys, and then suddenly found Pime in his face, just killing him and just switching to kill Slayer as well. Good round by GK, puts him ahead 3 rounds and makes them only 3 rounds ahead. Tournament on the line for them, and now Vitality are closer than ever than leaving this tournament with a heartbreaking loss versus one of the underdogs. I would say one of the surprises. These guys are just insane, and we would love to give them the credits, GK, if they get this win, because they came here as an underdogs and they're still delivering. Even though if they couldn't, they did a very good show, in my opinion.
And to potentially win a series off of taking down Vitality's Eagle Eye and sub base, that would be one to remember for these guys, and they're going to decide to speed things up here into B. Snake and Slayer have got to do a lot of work, but PM and Datchip have some great trades, and a miss from Snare, who has definitely been not himself on this map of Subbase, will continue to have an awry game as GK storm to 8, just 2 rounds away now. They can see playoffs in touching distance, and Vitality continue to shrink away here in Paris.
Yeah, only 2 rounds away, and these guys are about to explore Paris, not the tournament. And look at this, Snare has an idea what's going on, and Horus is now gonna get a backup. Everybody's just moving around. I see that GK, you just want to run it around, and the flashes are good. They want to swing. Snake is trying to find an angle. Pime just here to cover. Just Horus finds another. Bakcute and 2 players is under the stairs. Snare is just alive. He needs to hit the shots, and he does. Bakcute flicks and makes it on 2-on-2. Somehow, somewhere, Snare is just trying to push onto Bakcute's side. But look at the waves from both players, and Snare is only 2 HP. He's trying to find the headshot angle on this guy, but still, everything is on the line. That chip is here. He's having everything for him. Cage control, woods control, machine control, all on his side, and can be a winning angle for him, because Snare is only left with 2 HP to work on, and a double from that chip makes it 1 round away.
You got to think about that kill that Datchip gets on the lurk, right? The kill behind him to take down the flank. It opens up the map completely there for the side of GK, that they can storm back over, and the proactivity there to get into Cage and have an opportunity at winning that 2-on-2. 5 chances for GK in regulation to send Vitality at home or back home at home.
Yeah, I mean on their home ground, and they get this win. I mean, GK, man, last year was unsuccessful for them to go to the EWC. This year, they switch things up, and they are one round away on making it on top 8. I believe, I'm not sure the points for GK, but I'm sure that this can help them at least in the placement. Probably get a couple of rankings around, but Slayer just gets one kill, Slayer with another. Todzin is 1 kill, Prime is the only one to find kills, but this guy just needs to get chopped off, and now Vitality, whenever it is 9 rounds for the enemy team, we usually see Vitality just waking up. And still, GK, they have their tag timeout alive. They can pull it after one more round, I believe. If they can just close the game, they are 9 ahead to 5, and now Kimbom just gets snared and puts the final nail in the coffin. This might be the end for Vitality on the EWC 2026 here in Paris. And then you look at Snake at 17-11. You still think, okay, this guy can make things work. This guy has numbers. This guy can make it. This guy can flip the script and just get this round. Pull attack timeout to GK. Just talk about it. Try to get some few rounds. But on the blacklist side of GK, chances are very low.
Very low indeed. This 5-on-4 is being stretched to its absolute limit here. From the blacklist side, smokes up on the B site. Slow down again. Baku watching for this potential bit of aggression on a Slayer, but just dodges him for the time being. He's gotten himself into vent. A bomb site looking ripe for the taking, especially with the space that Baku has found. Now join hands here, smoke deep to give him even more space. Now, minute on the clock. It's all up to Horus and it's all up to Snake. Flash is good. Players are blinded up and they've gotten through. Ramp now. In through. Snake in the back of A. Trying to find a bit of a safe haven. Horus will make his life just a little bit easier. But they're cornered. But maybe, just maybe, they've got a little bit of time now. They've dropped the C4. Todzin, Horus, and Snake are holding on to this package. 40 seconds left on the clock as well. They've got to get a move on here, Baku and Ducked on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel likely. Now that they're smoked out, yeah, they're going to have to go through this. Flash is nice for sure, but too many bodies and Todzin is there. They combine. Vitality hold on for just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, there is a slight chance they can make it if they continue the same way, because this round should have gone GK side. They had a good call. They had a good collapse on his side, but they couldn't just take Horus out. Still, GK are holding to the attack timeout. I see all the players' hands are doing mouses, hands on the keyboard. So they still want to be trying one more time before taking this tag timeout. I guess he can just pull it now anyway, because if they win the round, they win the game. If they don't, he still has the tag timeout in his hands. And now, Prime just trying to be the hero. 22 kills. Oh man, this guy. How many kills did this guy get in the whole series? I believe he exceeded probably 50 kills on the 3 maps. And now he's just one round away. Vitality just trying to stand for one more round. And if things go well this round, the 9-6 curse is just going to be happening around. It's going to be coming around the corner. And look at that. Snake is just trying to play aggressive. He's trying to get the kill, but almost.
Oh.
I mean, Kimbom also took a lot of damage. 32 HP. 2 players just double peaked him. Made him a very low HP. Prime just trying to find some kills with this sniper rifle, and unsuccessful in the end. Gives it back to Kimbom. The guy's very low HP. Snake's just trying still to play very aggressive. I like he's confident because nothing to lose. Now look at that behind the smoke. Who's gonna spot the other first? The whip from Kimbom. And now the flash is still. GK cannot find any angle to go through. Neither through G side.
Looks like it's A.
And now the flashes are good. Snake gonna back off. Horus is just staying there, gets one, trying to get another, just get another kill. He's doing very good job so far, and Snake just finds one more. Kimbam is to fall, and it is suddenly a 2-on-4, and Snare just trying to get the kills. Buckyut is planting the C4 right now, and that ship is just having a big lurk where everybody is just pushing into the side, and again, we are seeing Vitality back alive into the game. Every time we exclude them, they are still here fighting to their spot, and finally the double pick comes 9-7. An attack timeout is definitely a thing to be called right now for GK.
Yeah, GK have to. I mean, they can feel themselves slipping right now. A Hail Mary sent at the A site, and you got to give credit to Horus, who has had some very impactful clutch situations, you know, late round decision making where he's called upon to get a multi-kill for you, and he stepped up to the plate and then some. Still 2 rounds necessary to cut this into an overtime situation here on map 3. Such a difficult comeback to put together, but they're going to have to do it somehow, some way. And that sequence there from Horus will certainly help.
Yeah, he's having a success on A side. That means that B side is the one to be on the take right now. As you can see, GK, they are moving to B side. A side is not the right call for them. Every time Horus is just putting them to dirt. And Todzin is the one to be tested. Looks pressured, but ready. Looks worried, but steady on his feet. And now, I mean, GK, I feel that there is nothing left on their tank. They are just giving everything they have. They are looking at each other. They want to take some calls. They want to take some ideas for someone. Because if things are not going very well for them, smokes are here to block the vision. I mean, it is still a thing that Todzin can still check this angle. Otherwise, he needs to switch to be top and look at this. All the players, they are trying to come back to his side. They want to be testing Horus one more time, and this guy just left it to Snake, and Horus is just trying to push Woods, and Buckyut just can have a good timing because Horus is not looking.
Oh no!
He's 26 HP. Now the side is going to be on the take. Snake is the only guy with EBR just to defend the side, but they're all going back and forth, and nobody is here to fall.
And look at Buckyut. He's able to cut off rotations almost instantaneously. Kimbam not far behind him. And they'll go charging into B. It's got to be Todzin, and he's been able to make it back into B. Snare with the same situation. 30 seconds left on the clock. There's not enough time to go back to A. It's got to be this B play. And they've gone 1 for 1. They've gone 2 for 2. But Slayer responds back in kind. And there's Snare. It's all onto that chip on the 1-on-3. 20 seconds left. C4, bomb on his back. And he spotted out Snare too. He's brought it down to a 1-on-1. He can get this bomb down the dirt. And Snake, who has been so formidable here on subbase, needs just one more to pull it back. More damage done to Dat Chip. Reload comes out. It's back to the pistol here for Dat Chip. He spots out Snake. He hears him around the corner. He's just trying to find just a little bit more, but he can't. Snake keeps Vitality alive.
I mean, GK, they haven't pulled the time out so far, and look at the guys that look pressured. If you watch it on the stage, you would say that it is Vitality's map. But if you look at the score, it was a 9-5 lead in favor of these guys, and then they started to throw a few rounds on his side, but still, they can't end on a win. GK, you had everything for you to win. And they couldn't. Again, a slow play coming out from them. They can't risk anything else to lose. Otherwise, if they go to the overtime, I don't think GK will just get out of this.
You got to think about the strategy that they employed there. Fake on B, fake on A, and B. You got players out of rotation, in transition. That should be it. And yet still, Vitality don't say die. Todzin now getting stuck into the corner. An opportunity to wreak havoc on this B approach. Made just off the mark there from GK. Minute 35, so this Blacklist side do not have to necessarily speed things up. Oh, crosshairs look good here for Duckdawn and Todzin. Who decides to pull the trigger, if any? Ductuan and Totson. It's like a complete standstill here in the lockers. It really does come down to a matter of timing. Does Totson decide to even check this angle is the question. He can stay here for as long as he wants. And meanwhile, GK decide to consider a rotation back the other way.
Yeah, and the flash for the fake, the smokes to block the vision. Players are rotating. That chip is ready to push. Flash is good. Snake is rotating. A kill on that chip. That might be the end of GK already because Totten's still alive. He gets one. He's very low HP, but he thinks the other and gets it on. And now the comeback is live. And GK just going to the dirt. And Vitality come back from a 9-5 down into a 9-9. And GK wouldn't make it on any wall.
Yeah, it feels like they truly have run out of gas in the tank. All the momentum has swung back the other way, and it did feel like that round previous was everything that they had in the strategic books, if it will. And unfortunately for them, they will have to suffer. They'll have to stew in their own undoing. Kimbum's been in this vent a couple of times now, has been rewarded for it. It'd be awful in their senses to potentially convert this round after not having the attempts at closing it out in regulation. Utility tossed in over on A as Vitality moved back in to Woods. They've lost a body already.
Yeah, but Prime is still alive. He's not healthy, but he's ready to kill. Look at this angle from Kimbum is just insane. Now Totsin is just clearing angles. He knows how good these angles could be. Now GK just throwed one of the easiest game of their lives if you could have won it. And Horus just kills that chip. That chip was a healthy player. He was a full HP and just takes him out. Nothing is working for GK right now. Everything is going Vitality's side, and now this push is going to be good because Prime is very low HP and he's playing on a very, very aggressive angle. Gets one. Gets out. Still trying to find another. Snake just pushes from BC. Gets two players. Ductuan is here. He gets one. They're switching to him. They're trying to find another. And Snare just immediately hits. And now Kimbum has found himself the only one alive. And look at that. I guess this is the sixth round in a row. But Horus is just trying to find it. But Kimbum just comes alive. And another clutch that puts GK ahead. A 1v2. I mean, that's a thing for you to win. You've lost 5 rounds or 6 rounds in a row, and then you win a 1v2. That's a thing to do.
That is shocking, to say the least, there from GK. Kimbum starts off the proceedings, but it's PM to finally get off the mark, who's been silent on that 5-round spree of Vitality coming back the other way. But Ductuan, Kimbum, they stay alive for just long enough. Keep GK in this, and just a surge of emotions back the other way. They desperately needed that one. Look at what that does to them, but Vitality still stay involved. They still have the self-belief as they get themselves to 5-on-4.
Yeah. Look at that full rotation onto the side, and now they're gambling. They're pushed 2 players into vent. The Slayer still again want to check this angle, and he knows that nobody's there. Only him controlling this vents, and now, I mean, GK, their numbers down, but still they have time alive. Kimbum lost his life to Snake. 26 kills for this guy. I mean, he's doing very good, and now the stack from them onto his side. C4 is around his side, but if the push around a top is going to be way in the favor of Vitality. And now GK, they can't afford to lose these rounds. Otherwise, on the blacklist side is not the best. Vitality's global side is just insane, and Vitality are just having good success. That chip is here to do the fake. I mean, also let's say that it's the bait.
Oh, Bach cute. Aware about the possibility, but Snare, he'll find the player he was looking for, and Ductuan will not find anything. He's been completely blindsided. And that chip, you can't ask anything from him because there is no potential for a multi-kill. Vitality roar back to life. They equalize us at 10s. It couldn't get more closer than this, Penguin.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that GK are just so off right now after this comeback from Vitality. Even the rounds looks shaky, their aims is not ready. Duct 1 is lost, Kimbom is just dying immediately. And look at this, 18-7, 8-17 from Duct 1 and Slayer. Again, he just want to take this angle. He just want to take this control. And he finds it. He's doing damage. Kimbom is going to be spotting Slayer. Slayer might be able to take his head, but no. And Nate, just to show that I saw you on the vents. And still a very slow play coming out from Vitality. I mean, nothing for them in the world just lets them to play aggressive because everything is working out. GK is just losing when the timer is just running. And this is exactly what we love to see from these guys. Slayer, again, just giving the information, being very vocal right now. And now, Team Vitality. The C4 is dropped around B side. Probably they want to be hitting this side.
Plenty of options for Vitality with how much space that they've taken over. EM still sending pot shots down. Hasn't connected just yet. Trader smokes over here throughout middle. Nobody connecting just yet. It is a down the point of attack here for Vitality. Datcha playing the pixel peek. Spots out Snare, can drop a defensive smoke, but
Slayer?
Yeah, that's the kill. And that's the exact angle that Slayer has utilized in the round previous. But they're getting flanked. There's a bit of a timer on this now. And Kimbom has to find this trade. He does. 45 seconds left on the clock now. And Kimbom's basically the only line of defense here. He still finds another. Finally traded out. Man advantage for Vitality. C4 should be able to hit the dirt. And Baku and Ducton, they're running out of time. They're running out of HP. And now that Ducton's down, it's all up to Baku in the 1-on-3. Timer continuing to rot away. Snare's got this sight line under lock and key, you like to think. Baku continues to make his life a living nightmare, but it's Vitality to come out on top regardless. Slayer with another. Just 2 rounds away, go Vitality.
Yeah, and this time they're going to be switching to Blacklist side. I mean, GK, they haven't had any success on this side. And they throw a couple of rounds that they're going to be looking for and just blaming themselves for it. However, we should give the credits for the Vitality's mental as they stay standing alive. 11-10, it's just 1 round, but the mental gap is huge. The mental gap is distant. Kimbom is just trying to sneak. Horus find one. He gets another. He just only getting one. And now Kimbom is the one to trade. And by the way, Duct 1 is just the guy entering the site every time. He's not having the best timings ever for his teammates. And Baku, he's just spotted right there. And he's so dead.
Very lucky to be alive there, Baku. Just takes significant damage off of that grenade. And the rotations are very solid here from Vitality. They've got the right places secured for themselves. Snake with a little bit of a jump spot. Knows that Baku is still in the vents. Knows that this potential for an A-split is there. And this time, Baku will back away. But they aren't aware about the woods control that's been established by GK. A trade is imminent. But still, look at how much damage GK have taken in this affair. Low HP, but Baku still holds strong. Immediate response there from Totson. 2-on-2 as the C4 hits the ground. Has to be scooped up. Minute left on this clock. And Kimbom and PM will be able to join hands, bound over to this A site, and puts it all on the Snare. He's got to keep his wits about him. Can still look up through the heavens, but decides to rotate through woods instead. Gives up the plant. Wants to play this retake alongside his teammate in Totson.
Yeah, and Prime is ready. Just gets him out. It's going to be Kimbom versus Totson because Totson is going to eliminate him. And now, the EBR just wins this fight. Kimbom just heavily damaged. Vitality can't afford to lose this round. Kimbom just trying to toy around and Totson just gets the kill. And now Vitality are 1 round away of winning this game.
That should be it. That should be it. A ripe opportunity as ever for GK, and they squander their opportunity. almost instantaneously. It's the immediate snap decision for Snare to move in with Totson, have that trade potential to come down from A-top, and that should be all she wrote. GK have two opportunities, or Vitality have two opportunities to crush the key, crush the hopes of GK right here, right now. It's been a long and grueling affair to claw map after map, round after round, to stay alive here at EWC. But they've done such a stellar job to keep a composed job. And now they'll be rewarded with the fruits of their labor. Just that one round away, just 5 kills away from that grand playoff stage.
One round for Vitality. I don't think they will let it happen. I don't think they will let it slip. No comebacks for GK. The comebacks only for Vitality. You have got a lot of chances to close the game, but underestimating Vitality just cleared all your chances. As you can see, Vitality now, they are just toying around with the strategies that they have, playing 2 around the top, just getting 1 boosted on vents. The left boost can help because GK are completely lost. Snake just falls, gives signs of hope. Smokes is now just to slow things up, and Snare is still on the vents, ready to get some kills. Slayer, he knows that this hit is going to be solid, but Bakyu just gets him away. They know that Todzin is going to be on the quad player. He might have one more chance, but they're not going to have another. A push from Vitality might be coming. A fast retake might be going in. And now, 1 kill. That chip trades. That chip tries to find another, but Snare just gets a kill at what costs. An 8 HP clutch to close the game would be fantastic for Vitality. However, even though if he loses, he's still got another 2 chances.
And so GK stay alive for just a little bit longer. Chemistry keeps them in this series. Elimination on the line. And Vitality and their fans looking to roar here in Paris. Just have to wait a little bit longer now. Golden round on the horizon here for GK. They're able to get 1 more on the board. And a complete slowdown here. It hasn't been the PM show in overtime. It's been these riflers to drag them back involved. Snare spots the cross in the woods. A-top looks a little nerve-wracking here. Horus again may have to step up to the plate as he has in regulation. But GK do not extend on in. They hold back.
Yeah. Very slow play, but Snare is just gonna get heavily damaged. Snake is just trying to cover him, but now we have 2 players damaged, but none of them is spotted. Nobody knows that they're low. Bakyu trying to get Snare. Snare is just trying to jump spot this angle, and he knows that he's there. He might have locked him in and just nail him down in the ground because he's seen his position, but Horus is here to help. A good rotation, good communication from the guys, but the A-side hit can pay off. Look at this HP from Snare. He still can hit some shots. He still can hit some kills. They think that Horus is still alive. Doctor is not having a good game. Away from Snare. The first one, he still has an 8. He dies. Bakyu gets the first time. Doubles it down. Is it a golden round? Is it a flip of the script? Is it a double flip? Or we can see a miraculous comeback, a miraculous clutch from these guys, Todzin and Slayer. Both whiffing their shots, but they don't know what to do. Probably they're going to be talking about the last round. Will they push machine? Will they just put everything they have on the next round? Or they're going to try the best out of this round? Slayer gets 1, and he's going to fall. A golden round for this game. What a beautiful end to get one of those 2 teams a winner and to crush the other skis.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Penguin. An opportunity unlike any other for GK to completely stun Vitality. A Vitality who stormed back. To fail at the final hurdle would be heartbreak, unlike any other as well. And we're just 2 minutes away. 2 minutes and change from deciding a victor. It's been a long, drawn-out series for our first decider here on the B stream. And we will have to send somebody home after the dust has settled. Slow as you'd like from GK. Woods control not a priority for them. PM tasked with holding on that spot of the map. No aggression coming out from Machine. Nothing unorthodox here from Vitality. They don't want to rely on the late round heroics that they've kept them in this series, kept them in this map as well. You look towards Horus on A and the multi-kills he's been able to provide. You think about Snake, man, 26 kills and counting. Yeah. It'll come down to these individuals, these massive heroic plays to see which way the chips fall. And with a minute 20 on the clock, eventually GK have got to get a move on.
A triple vent setup to end the game. They need to do the damage. Slayer is not spotted. Flashes to fake. Push onto a side. Kill by Prime. Slayer just backs it up. It's 1-for-1. Horus gets one. Horus gets a double. He's here. The man is alive.
Oh no.
But suddenly it just flips. A 2-on-2 and now everything is on the line. Dapchip is in a very good position if he can make it a double. But he backs away. Everybody just don't want to spend everything they have. Flashes are good. And the weight is theirs.
Post plant now. Datchip in a very compromised position. Snare and Totson has spotted out Datchip. It puts it all on the star of GK. PM, who's had some incredible moments in this series, has got to produce one final clip to advance to the playoffs. There's an immediate rotation though. Totson and Snare have moved all the way back to A down, but PM's read this. The time has rotted all the way down. Totson's got to stick this, and he will find it at the tail end. Does he have enough time? No. It's going to be down to the wire, and they've got it. Vitality in the nick of time will qualify to the playoffs. Oh my goodness, what an opportunity from Vitality, and what heartbreak for GK.
I mean, what a way to end this series. A golden round, a clutch by Totson. Definitely the thing that you would be looking for. And Vitality are going into the playoffs.
Holy smokes, it comes down to a golden round and the Vitality fans are delighted. The Vitality owners delighted because it keeps their club championship hopes alive here at the Esports World Cup. Sadly, for GK, they will be eliminated here and their key will be crushed. But look at the emotions. Look at what it means to Vitality. What an incredible series we start our day with here. And guys, I mean, such a difficult moment in a 1v1 like that, just coming down to just minor details, mere seconds there on the defuse.
You think Totson's actually flubbed it in a lot of ways, right? The first player goes down in that trade sequence and you're thinking PM's just done enough. He's found it. He's found a little bit of time to eke out. And I mean, the tensions run high, the emotions, the come down for the side of GK. I mean, you feel for them. Your heart aches for them because it's legitimately like a quarter HP away from jubilation, and this is the result of that.
They certainly put their best foot forward, did GK, and they will go out with their heads held high, but it is Team Vitality who progress into those playoffs, into the top 8, and will keep their hopes alive of trying to go on a dream run here at Crossfire at EWC 2026. Well, I mean, what a way to start our day, Penguin. We couldn't have asked for anything better, right? And we knew that these two teams were going to put everything out on the table here.
I mean, yeah, and GK is probably going to be very upset. They had everything. It was 9-5, a lead to them on their blacklist side. And then suddenly everything just went wrong, and then you go back, do some comeback. I mean, just go to the overtime, golden round, just 2 seconds, probably 1 second could have won you the whole thing. The Prime just couldn't do it. If you could have just waited, if you could just toyed his head a bit with Totson, he could have won, but in the end, it's a win for Vitality. I mean, I can't talk about strategies because the game was so much intense when it comes to mental game, not about strat-wise, because it's not a strat-wise right now. 9-5, 9-9, this is not strategies, this is a mental booming by GK.
And when it comes to that golden round, Penguin, I'm going to ask you in particular because obviously you used to compete yourself. how important it is to be on the attack or the defense side. Is it map dependent, depending on where the golden round is?
But it's definitely in the favor of, I mean, GK, because they're on the blacklist side, and Pime could have played it better, by the way, but you can't ask him for more. This guy is just on 1v2. He just killed one. He's on 1v1. He just could have tried to probably tuck his head in the box so he can take multiple bullets to die, or let Todzin probably swing more so he can waste a lot of time for them in the end. I mean, it's just so hard for them.
I feel so bad for GK, man. I mean, even in OT, the expectation is, you know, you probably just fall away. You know, PM has gone quiet, and yet still they clawed back into OT, into that golden round, and it just falls apart, man. And I mean, it's not even like a huge heroic performance from any one player on Vitality. Everybody stepped up at certain points. Horse with that big multi in terms of the regulation. Yeah, that was huge. And then Snake's constant kills, Snare with a couple of big X-Factor moments. It's just unreal.
Well, you spoke about players who did make a difference. Snake was one of them, and he'll be on the main stage with Skriv. Who have you got for us? It's Snake.
Yes, indeed. Very, very happy to have Snake here with us after that one. Talk me through how you're feeling, bro. That was a very intense game, intense finish, all three maps, the golden round in the end. How are you feeling after that win?
I'm feeling tired, but yeah, in the end, I'm very happy that we managed to close this game out. I'm very happy that everyone stepped up when we needed. I'm thankful for my teammates because we really stepped up in the game and we made the comeback.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously a fantastic game to watch. I wanted to talk quite generally very quickly about how you guys feel West League is performing at the moment, and how maybe you guys carrying that mantle, of course, under Vitality now. You know, what are your thoughts about West League at the internationals coming into EWC 2026?
To be honest, this is not our play style. We usually dominate our region here, but here is different because it's the land different. So there's a bit of pressure for us, but I think we will do our best for next matches and try to win these matches for our fans.
And then moving forwards, you are, of course, now in the playoffs, in those quarterfinals. Hopefully a little easier for you guys than a game like that. But what are you thinking about those playoffs? Are you looking forwards, or are you just taking it one game to the next?
We take it step by step. We like always I'm saying, we don't care about who are playing. We just play our game. But today we did a lot of individual mistakes. We will try to fix it before the next match.
Well, there you go. Hopefully things get fixed, of course. But after a high-octane game, great to hear from Snake here. Back to you boys on the desk.
So one more team name added to that EWC knockout reveal a little bit later, but we still have to find out 2 more teams to add to it because we are still not done. There are still more games to go here. That was only the first series of the day, which is kind of insane. The fact it went all the way to 3 and to overtime and to the golden round, everything we could have asked for. But in the end, it was GK who go home. Their key is going to be crushed. We will see those live scenes in a short while as well, which is both a sad moment for GK, but of course a jubilation moment for the side of Vitality, because you know they were only mere seconds away, guys, from being eliminated out of this competition. I saw how nervous the owners were watching for that one as well, because they know how important this is for the club championship too, trying to push up into that top 3. And boy, if they had not qualified there, it would have been a very different reception here on this stage. What do you think it means to these players, though, to be able to kind of like give back to the organization of Vitality?
Yeah, this is exactly what they're trying. I mean, of course, they want to be winning, but they're still playing for Vitality, so they would love to put some numbers onto their points.
Well, the key crush is ready, ladies and gentlemen. It is time to sadly witness another one destroyed in front of our very eyes, but it is a chance for Vitality to put that one into the crusher and be the ones to destroy GK Esports' hopes, dreams, and key, of course. Paladin, it's a tough watch, but someone's got to do it, you know?
Yeah, it really is a tough watch. I mean, it's unfortunate, but we get like a physical elimination of a team, and getting to see this key crush, it signifies how much you got to put into this game, how much you got to leave out on the line, and the result of all your hard work. It comes down to just moments like this. This is what we reduce it down to.
I mean, it rubs extra salt in the wounds when the Vitality band were playing along as the crusher went down, and then a big cheer when the key was crushed. But Vitality's key will live to fight another day, but it is GK's who will now find their key in pieces, and sadly they will progress no further here in Crossfire. Real question is, how far can Vitality go now? You know, if they want to be able to have that unthinkable run in the club championship, we would need to see them win Crossfire first and foremost. Do you think they can do it from what we've just seen, or do you think maybe that could be too much of a tall order?
I'm really worried about their map pool. That's my issue, is that we come into this saying, you know, Eagle Eye, Subbase look great. All of a sudden, a little bit shaky on both.
Yeah.
I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, same. I think these guys just need to reshuffle the papers, because otherwise it's not, as Snake mentioned, it's not local tournament right now. It's an international stage.
Well, we'll have to see who they get in the end in those quarterfinals. But for now, we're going to start gearing up towards our second lower bracket semi-final. Another decider match to see who is going to qualify for that top 8 playoff spot. We have Na'Vi and the Vicious coming up next. Again, a big one in the club championship as well for Na'Vi in particular. So we'll have to see who's going to be able to take that first one. But until then, we're going to go for a break. When we come back, it'll be Na'Vi versus the Vicious.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by Play.
We were there. For every click, every clutch, every respawn. We were there for the years of grind. And we're here. Now. The proud founding partner of EWC. Powering the biggest event in gaming. Shoulder to shoulder with the world's best. Making history. Greatness deserves a stage. Lenovo Legion. Reach your impossible.
Look Goku came crawling back. It was me after that one. I was on my knees because Vitality just about scraped through and they find themselves in the top 8 now into the quarterfinals. They send home GK Esports. And we move now into another lower bracket game, another decider match here, and it is going to be a banger. We've got Na'Vi versus the Vicious, and I've got Paladin and Penguin on the desk with me, guys. We're into another one. It's an important one for all-encompassing things, whether it's the club championship, whether it's the teams trying to progress. Early thoughts. This matchup, is it going to be a close one? Is it going to be one-sided? How are we feeling?
I actually feel like this is more one-sided than it might meet the eye. I really like what I've seen from Na'Vi. They fell against Rock earlier on in the qualification match, but there's a lot to love in terms of the win conditions, in terms of how they approach certain maps. I feel like they've got the tools to get the job done in potentially 2 today.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. We are seeing Na'Vi as the favorites here. Yes, we've seen Vitality also as the favorite in the last matchup, but looking at the Vicious and GK, the competitor is just different. So that's why I'm saying maybe Na'Vi can have an easy winner to clean to all.
I guess the one thing that has me positive about the Vicious is how they were able to get into today, how they beat Anubis, right? They were down. It looked like they were going to be out of the competition, but they constantly found their way back in. It was 9-7 they were down, and then found themselves into overtime. They get back into the game. Maybe that's something that they can use momentum-wise to go into this next one, but we'll have to see whether they can actually use that, and that will be part of their side. As we dive a little bit deeper into these teams now, we can take a closer look at Na'Vi. They arrived and they look in good spirits, I would say, but it is just about focusing on the task at hand, getting into the top 8. I really like this roster. I think this has been one of the most enjoyable teams to watch for me so far this tournament. But talk to me a little bit about them, Penguin. Tell me what makes Na'Vi so good.
I mean, the unexpected plays that you usually do when it comes to pushing the sides, probably on their blacklist side, they are always unexpected. If you look at the lurks, the flanks, it is very good. And also LKK, when he's in form, when Juan is in good positions, he's just hitting multiple shots. And also, if you look the global side, it is still a very unique play style. We've watched it a lot of teams, we've watched it all the Brazilians. We haven't seen someone with the same creativity. Probably it's not always paying off, that they are still trying to be creative, they're still trying to be out of the box.
And there's still some, third, fourth options that you can kind of look towards to say, yeah, if we need a clutch, if we need a big anchor moment, you can look towards a guy like JV. Yeah. You can look towards a guy like LCZ. I mean, everybody in this squad can come up and produce a highlight to keep their team in this. And that's what makes me very excited about Na'Vi's long-term success is, do they have the capabilities of going toe-to-toe with international competition? I would say yes, even though that domestic matchup didn't necessarily go the way that they were looking for. I think they've got all the pieces to make it work.
Well, on the other side for Na'Vi, we have the Vicious, who are looking to try and make an upset, of course, in this one and see if they can take down a team like Na'Vi, which would actually send shockwaves, I think, through the Crossfire community with how well Na'Vi have been performing. But it is never say never. There is always expect the unexpected. The Vicious could pull off an upset. But if they are going to do it, what would be the keys to finding success here, guys?
It's very hard. Like, you asked me the same question on GK and I told you Pime or Pim or just this sniper guy, right? On the Vicious, I don't want to say that the guys are still not experienced, but I feel that they are all on the same level, even though if they want to be trying to, let's say, one guy to get out of his mind, still, I don't think it's going to be enough. Ice Cube had some couple of good games in this tournament. Characters has been covering him, but still, it's not the performance that we would be expecting them to beat Na'Vi. Especially, they're going to be going against LKK, JV, as Paladin mentioned, and also, we're talking about Juan, one of the best snipers on the Brazil League.
Yeah, it's more of a fragging by committee for this team. I mean, you have a couple of big moments from certain players for sure, but it's that consistency/inconsistency that I'm really worried about for this Vicious squad to really have, again, long-term success within this tournament. I'm looking towards the Riflers really to step up to the plate. I'm looking at Origami. I'm looking at Jaleo. Jaleo, a big anchor piece, but also an extra dimension in terms of their aggression on defensive sides. He was a problem in their loss in the map 1 against Anubis, but he was also the reason why they won, I would argue, on map 3 in that big back and forth decider that we had. So I think there's a lot riding on that rifle core, more so than it would be on Ice Cube, I would say.
Well, you mentioned some maps, and we've got some more on our screens as well, as the veto process is here. Subbase and Ankara are going to go, and we get Black Widow and Eagle Eye. Initial thoughts, Penguin?
Black Widow is going to be good for the Vicious. I mean, They played good. They had some good rounds. Yes, they made a comeback versus Anubis. Anubis just a bit throw, but they played very good because they have some good snipers. Eagle Eye is also kind of not that bad for them, but still, I'm very worried because the Brazilian league just loves to play Eagle Eye that much. And when it goes to new compound, I think Na'Vi is just all the way Na'Vi.
Yeah, I think Black Widow for Na'Vi is actually not bad either. Like, I actually really do like their Black Widow as well. So it feels to me that they've gotten everything that they could ask for. They have new compound to end as well, which I've seen some good work out of them in series past. So I feel pretty confident with Na'Vi's veto. I mean, again, I think they have all the pieces in the server. Now they've got a pretty favorable veto as well. I think it's their job to just kind of put their money where their mouth is, put this one over the line, and look towards the playoffs after a pretty impressive group stage for me so far.
Well, keys are on the line, tournament life is on the line, and a position in the playoffs is also on the line. Whose key will still be standing and whose is going to be crushed? It's a best of three, remember, between these two teams in this decider match. Are we going to get an upset? Can Vicious maybe surprise us all, surprise the entire Crossfire community here, or will it go to regular scheduled planning as Na'Vi, the favorites coming into this one, perhaps looking to see if they can just assert some domination before we go into quarterfinals, as we are ready then to jump into map one. Let's enjoy this one, everyone. We've got Penguin and Paladin to cast it all.
We had an absolute banger of a decider match to start off the proceedings for our third and final day of this group stage. Are we in for yet another is the real question. I'm Paladin, joined by Penguin here in our first map of play on Black Widow as PBZ gets a little frisky on short.
Yeah, and AKX just loses his life. Now we're just starting slow on this map. Beautiful shot from PBZ. Big damage on JV. It's just checking if there's any flashes to be thrown. He's playing a bit aggressive on Cat, and now he backs up. His damage can do. Ooh. The damage that he can do is the EBR, but look at this, the push. Ice Cube gets one. LKK just to trades the first kill, but JV is just alive. He's trying to fire. Nevis just gets one more, and it is the first to hit. Vicious just gets the first one.
Again, fragging by committee and becoming better than the sum of their parts comes Nevis. 1-0 start here for the Vicious. Trying to set the expectations here that this is an even footing fight. It doesn't swing one way or the other, and the Vicious have a shot at causing an upset in this deciding matchup in Group B.
Yeah, now changing the game plans and full commitment around bridge now from Na'Vi. Gets the control. Nobody's damaged. But again, slow play from Na'Vi. Juan is just single-handedly waiting on barracks, trying to find any mistakes that can be done. But LKK is just watching the cap push. Na'Vi is just not approaching anywhere, and Ice Cube just snaps LCZ while he was just testing, checking the B side, and now LKK just finds himself in mid. Good smoke by PVZ can slow things down. I'm not sure if this was the right side for them. C4 is moving through B connector to the box room, and LKK is just the first one to lead the charge. Ice Cube is an aggressive angle, just watching the smoke entrance. And a backup smoke into the doors is going to be coming from JV, and the push is about to happen. JV, LKK, everybody from Na'Vi is just here. They're trying to hit the side. Ice Cube is still alive behind the double boxes, gets the first. Origami just doubles it down. Juan just finally sees trade. JV just trying to find the kill. Both of them just whiffs their shots. They're very low HP, and finally the flank is here. J-Lo is one. J-Lo is another. Nevis just gets the kill with the nade, and Vicious starting very hot and strong on this map.
Even if you don't have that star player, everyone holds their line, carries their own weight, and still be able to notch some rounds on the board. And right now, everybody off the mark for the Vicious. On the other side of things, it's pretty silent from some of these players on Na'Vi. Not that explosive team that we saw in the opening few days of this tournament. And perhaps the Vicious have a little bit more gas left in the tank here at EWC. Who would have thought? This team with very low expectations, looking to dash the hopes of the Brazilians who want to join their other two compatriots in Liquid and Rock Esports.
Yeah, and honestly, Vicious is just leaving the full map to them through their controls, but Nav is just way too respecting Vicious. They give you the control, you push the side, we get the kills. Origami is just here to defend, the first to kill. LKK the first to trade. Neves, look at Neves, is just hot on the lurk. Very fast on this lurk. Nobody spotted him yet. And PPZ is just trying to do some damage around the woods, but look at Neves' position. All the players are sandwiched. One is just doing a big lurk on the side, but I don't think it's gonna happen because of the position of Neves. But suddenly, just while we're talking, Navi just kills everybody. You couldn't have waited for him because of the lurk from Juan, and he makes it happen, and Navi are back on board quicker than ever. A 2-1 in favor of Vicious. I mean, 2 rounds on Grober's side is just very big for you as a team.
Yeah, certainly. So it's a set call out of spawn there from Navi. Take box room's control, have that execution, a late lurk from Juan. It's a couple on his own, but now it's back to short side, and the Vicious have done a very good job in holding back some of these players. JV does get one, and LKK will find another, and there goes LCZ. The A bomb site is open for business. LKK on this late lurk has spotted out Jaleo, he spotted out Origami, and done so much damage. He does go down, but it's a valiant attempt from him. C4 should be able to get planted, and now clear advantage goes towards the Brazilians.
Yeah, look at the HPs. Jaleo and Origami both almost the same HP. It's below 30. Holy, even 25 HP on Jaleo. LCZ is trying to take this fight. They know that the players are low, so they want to be taking the fights. If the pistol is ready by Juan, no need for the sniper. Even the long range, you just can one bullet him, and this is going to happen right now. Origami just to fall, and Navi are back. A draw back again. A 2-on-2. A change in the play style, and I mean, Ice Cube, he did a very good first 2 rounds. He had some multiple entry frags, but this round in particular didn't work out to be very good for the team. And again, Navi is just the team was testing things out, and now they're back on action. Juan just takes a big damage, half HP, 50 HP, and the fast-paced push around them. Full flashed Ice Cube just falls, and Jeff is still here. He gets one, never trades, never gets that second. Origami finds it. LKK is still alive. The push is still happening from Cat, and this is what's happening, and LCZ just flicks and gets one. It's all about this guy, this man, Ice Cube on 1v2. The C4 is gonna be planted, and he has the HP to work with. LKK just want to find the kill, and he gets it in a wall bang, and one more for Navi. 3 in a row without a single reply from Team Vicious.
And there's the explosiveness that you're kind of looking for from Navi, led by JV. An instant bit of aggression over there on Cat. Gets that kill, explodes in. Quan not too far behind from long, but it's a secondary from Neves to slow things down now for Navi. They still want to fight up in short here. AKX, JV, look towards PBZ, and they'll find it. They take significant damage in the process, but they'll be happy that at least they have the 4-on-4 to hold on to.
Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, turns out to be a very good round for the Vicious so far. They have the HP advantage. 2 players are very low HP. They have the cat control. It's quite the same setup that we've seen on the first 2 rounds where they were winning. Probably they're back to the business.
Navi now. Slow it down a little bit more. His low HP bars will certainly be called into question, but Juan and LCZ, the double sniper setup on the offense, you don't see that too often. Comes alive here. Oh, and LCZ had an opportunity at another. At this point, the name of the game is to stay alive, and he'll bound away from bridge, try to rejoin with his team, charge up at Origami here, the lone A defender. Gotta be careful about Jaleo watching him, and he spotted him. Surely wants to wonder where he's gone off to, and yeah, he'll find his man. It's all up to Origami in the 1-on-3. He gets naded, and he gets shredded by the pistol of LCZ. 4 on the trot now for Na'Vi.
Yeah, I mean, this round was looking good for the Vicious. And then it turned out to be a Navi's round after the double sniper setup that you've mentioned. Just turns out to be very, very effective and well. A 4-2 it is. I mean, Vicious started very good. We said, okay, might be another surprise, might be another close game, and then suddenly Na'Vi just hits 4 rounds in a row. I know it's still very early, but I still think that Na'Vi are just getting into the game. Ice Cube just whiffs the first, trying to get the second. Nobody's to die. The site is completely open for the take. A kill from Ice Cube should have been, but LCZ just double dinks him and gets him out of the picture. Juan just doubles it down on Neves, and it is a 5v3. C4 is about to be planted. And Vicious in a very tough situation.
Certainly so, but at a certain point, we got to get this bomb down, boys. Start to put the pressure on the Vicious. Do not allow them to get into these box-in kind of scenarios. And there we go, LCZ with that default plant. EBZ still trained in on the window as Jaleo tries to come back in through the bridge. But he's been spotted out by Juan, and it does make this one a difficult retake, to say the least. EBZ continues to take a little bit of damage here, and he'll go down. It's in the timeout being called now from the Vicious, as Origami has also been noted, and he'll fall straight away halfway to set number 1 here for Na'Vi, as they are just trouncing through this offense.
Yeah, I mean, finally the tech timeout is here. We are seeing FC is trying to talk to his teammates, trying to talk to his team. He's trying to set things up. Otherwise, the game is just going to slip very quick. It's 5 rounds for Na'Vi. I don't think they need to change anything. Probably, yeah, the first 2 rounds weren't successful. But it's just the first 2 rounds. You're not ready yet. You're not warmed up yet. When you get things ready, you're going to be hitting the sides. You're going to be hitting the wins. And this is exactly what Na'Vi is doing now. The Vicious is going to be looking for more aggressive plays. They need to deny some space. They leave the full map for Na'Vi. It was working for the first 2 rounds, but then Na'Vi just suddenly realized that they are wasting some utilities on a control that already Vicious is giving them for free. So they started using these utilities into hitting the sides, and it's starting becoming very, very tough for Vicious to defend this side. Now Vicious, I believe that they're going to be trying to push the bridge control, fake the A side, push the barracks, fake the B side. They need to do something proactive on the map.
Proactive indeed. It's incredibly important to jostle these fast-paced defaults from Na'Vi. Feels like they have a real foothold on how they want to approach Black Widow so far. And they've been rewarded as such with that 5-round spree, as we seem to have come to the conclusion of our timeout. And into that affair for Anatis Vincere. LCZ decides to down for an initial attempt. And yeah, that deep smoke suggests box rooms in a bridge control. And LCZ is also aware of that on his own. So he backs away, he gives over that positioning. And now we say, okay, what do we get back in return now that we've lost that space? And it looks to be the barracks, it looks to be A.
Yeah, and as mentioned, Vicious went for the bridge control just to deny some space for Na'Vi, because Na'Vi, they are using the controls, when they are using the spaces, they are doing damage, and they need to avoid this. Now, what is the call for Na'Vi? Is it a retake? Yes, it is. All the players are here. Juan is again doing a big lurk. We've seen the Brazilians doing this, but now Origami is in a big situation. He puts the flash on the second, might cost him his life, and exactly this is what's going to be happening, because the players are just taking too long to kill him, and he's still alive. He gets one nice cube also from the B window. Gets another, he's trying to fight. LKK just trades it down. And it is all a 3-on-3 after these fights, and Never still baiting on the back of these sewers. I mean, look at his composure. This guy just don't want to move. He's just waiting somebody to go in box room and just backstab him and get this round. And now he takes the fight with JV. JV gets the better out of him. He could have stayed on the round, but now JDO is on a 1v3.
You talk about the composure of Nevis in that position. He crumbles.
Yeah.
He loses the man and he wants to essentially take his place, but what a tough clutch situation that you leave your teammate in Jaleo in. And you want to talk about cool and collected. It's Na'Vi that seemingly at every turn understand how to go about situations that aren't even in your favor. I mean, this is a good setup from the Vicious. They get this bridge control and they hold on to it with a pretty nice crossfire, but Ice Cube can't connect on some of these shots. And Nevis, unfortunately, cannot find any refrags. It's long control now being sought after by the Vicious, and they find a couple of solid kills. Origami and Nevis are there. And with that, Na'Vi, for the first time in a long time, feel undermanned.
Yeah, and now LCZ just gets one. Trying to make it a second. And look at that. LKK just gets PPZ and Origami just dies to AKX, and all of a sudden...
Oh, come on.
AKX doubles it down, and I mean, Na'Vi just 7 in a row. No way this is gonna happen. No way this is gonna be clutched by Nevis.
Yeah, you definitely wouldn't think so. I mean, 3 players on that B bomb site, everybody necessary to deal with that 2-player push through the box rooms, but it doesn't happen, and LKK on the flank finds a couple. That is 7 rounds on the blacklist side in this first half for Na'Vi. They are just trouncing through the Vicious on their opponent's map pick. It just feels like they are outclassing the Vicious now and then some.
Yeah. Now, they're going to be switching sides now. What we will be expecting from Vicious. I mean, they started good. They had 2 rounds in a row. We were like, okay, might be a close game. Okay, we didn't say that, yes, Vicious is going to win, but we said we might be a close game. Might be the game that we expect to be going to 10-6, 10-5, 10-7, around that. Then suddenly I still think that it's probably 10-3, 10-2 game if Na'Vi continues the action that they're doing. And AKX continues to just turn tables around like what he did. He has 3 kills. 2 of them, one of the most important rounds, he flipped around that was, Vicious had numbers advantage, and suddenly he just gets 2 kills and puts the advantage into his teammates' favor.
Absolutely. So this side swap is so important for the Vicious, and they got to start off on the right foot. There's not really much room for error as they look towards this B bomb site. LCZ, JV, the men tasked to hold down this side of the map. There's a late mid section clear here from Na'Vi, and they'll find that it's pretty much empty. JV's got to hustle back eventually. When does the penny drop for this defense that B is the port of call, and LCZ has got a lot on his plate? It still hasn't seemingly hit them just yet, but LCZ will still find the first. He'll be able to back away, and LKK takes down the lurk. So they know that it's just 3 players remaining on this B bomb site, and they've got themselves a favorable retake situation. Here comes the flash to get them involved. Nevis is completely blinded up by his teammate, but he still finds AKX. Still living to tell the tale, but JV and LKK storm back. It's all up to Origami in the 1-on-4. He finds the first, and he switches over to the pistol to bring it to a 1-on-2. But LCZ, who's been alive for so long, will continue his romp through Black Widow. 12-3, 10 rounds in.
Oh man, look at this. A good push into 1 player on the side only. I mean, we expected, okay, finally, Vicious, they have the right call. But then LCZ gets 1, leaves. LKK just kills the lurker, gets another. And then they suddenly knew that, okay, we have numbers advantage. We need to go back to take the control of the bridge. Otherwise, it's going to be a very, very good post plant by the attack. And now JV just denying this bridge, controlled by Vicious, getting 1 kill, adding more damage to these guys. They are very quiet since the first 2 rounds. 8 in a row for a Na'Vi. And it's much a quieter game than what we've seen from Vitality and GK probably this is one of the best games in the tournament, I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put any...
It's hard to top that, isn't it? Yeah, it really is.
I don't think so, even though we're going to be watching finals, but I don't think it's going to be such a game. Roller coaster emotions, vitality, GK, and then now we wanted to see such a good game also from Na'Vi and Vicious, but Na'Vi's just giving us a good shot. Juan is just giving us a double kills. Finally, PPZ wanna be replying and gets the third for himself, probably the fourth. Origami's on, AKX with another. Even with the double from PPZ from the kill from Origami, it is still 1v2. LCZ and AKX is the clutch, and now the C4 is in hands of Origami. He needs to move to one of the sides. Minute and 10 seconds on the clock, and I think he's choosing a side.
Full belt of util as well, so if he wants that cross smoke, he'll be granted that, but instant gamble from Na'Vi. They've read this like a book. You've got a player in the window, you've got that short rotation as well. LCZ's also swapped to the pistol, so they know he's sub 50 HP. He's a couple of bullets away from death, and a small bit of timing found by Origami. Hold on. Plant comes in. Oh, that nade nearly does the job. 3 HP left for Origami, and I don't think he's realized where that nade has come from. He's finally triangulated the position, but AKX has instantly moved away. I'll go back to the window now. 30 seconds left on the clock, and yeah, at this point, if Origami, has still not figured out where AKX is going to become a little bit of a problem. Switches back over to the pistol, but the HP is always going to be an issue. AKX gets himself the 9th round for Na'Vi as they just roll through the Vicious.
2 rounds in a row from Vicious at the beginning of the game, just answered by 9 rounds in a row from Na'Vi. This is too much to ask from them. And now, even though this round was very close, Origami just took a hell of damage with these nades and stayed on a 3 HP, tried to clutch, and now LCZ just adds more to the damage and gets the first blood on Neves. Jaleo trying to find kill. PPZ gets another. One just dies. Double for him. Probably the redemption.
At this point, it's consolation just to stay alive on this map, but still threats rely around every corner. AKX and LKK have been such a potent duo on Black Widow, but now it's just LKK. 13 kills deep, looking for 16 to close out this map. That has no awareness that Origami is right behind him. He spotted it out now, been calmed over, brings it into a 1-on-2, and he'll get one more, but Jaleo extends play just a little bit longer.
Yeah, do you hold on to it? I mean, I've seen Na'Vi just trying to kind of push and end the game. I feel them. I get them. They are 8 rounds ahead. 6 rounds ahead, sorry. They have multiple chances to close the game. Yes, we've seen Vitality with 5 rounds deficit, I guess, or 6 rounds deficit, but they still come back. And now, I mean, I don't think Vicious have the things to do it. They don't have the mental, they don't have the aim. Because Nav is just hitting every single shot. Juan is doing a good job as well.
You talk about the individual frags that you want from players like Jaleo, Nevis, Ice Cube. None of them have really been there to step up, and that's been the real issue for the Vicious is who is that guy that steps up? It can't just be Origami. There's just not a second or third option yet that has made their face known in this series just yet. And Na'Vi, meanwhile, you look at that scoreboard and there's really no weak link. Sure, AKX has been a little slow, but he still found some multis here and there. Now back to the long crawl go the Vicious. They don't have that cross smoke just yet, so an opportunity for Juan to let loose on this sniper. Trained in on this angle. Minute 15 now. And when does that penny drop? When does Vicious want to move into A? One of their last hurrahs here on Black Widow. Elio and Nevis. Origami maybe taking that first contact. The lurk is dead. LKK has cleared that out. They know where this hit is ending up, but Juan misses his shot. And with that, Jaleo will double up. Vicious have an opportunity to plant the bomb. LCZ with the secondary has made it back over the window, but he's losing bodies around him. Sure, damage is being done, but PBZ will find one more. And while this isn't the cleanest end to the series, or map rather, for Na'Vi, the Vicious are getting just a bit of confidence to say, hey, maybe we've still got a foothold in the series. Maybe not in this map yet, but, you know, Eagle Eyes around the corner. Maybe we have a shot there.
Yeah. I mean, it's good for them to have a couple of rounds before falling. Not saying that they are definitely going to fall, but even though if they fall, but get
odds are
a couple
stacked
of rounds
against them.
Yeah, because this is going to be trying to build up some momentum for them. I mean, the Na'Vi players are just trying to also calm down. And I mean, they are super chilled right now, unlike the first rounds that we've seen from them. Now a double in a row from Vicious. They got 2 at the beginning of the game and 2 now in a row. So nothing is impossible, and just like that, you see PPZ, which is very good control. This guy is just holding Cat on the Global side and pushing Cat on the Black side. He knows this angle. He loves it. He knows how to play. And now 3 players around beside, probably going to be a fake roll side and then a push with the C4 around beside. 2 players are there. If AKX just over rotates, the round is going to be very, very tough. This nade is going to be doing a little damage on J Leo. And now the fake is going to be starting.
Yeah, Cat execution being at least a flash and smoke being tossed in. But the door smoke on B should suggest to Na'Vi that this B bomb site should still be under threat. And LCC finding that should make things a little easier. PBZ drops down to the spawn. He gets taken out by AKX. It's JV to go 1-for-1. AKX still in the area. Still has the time, and he's got a little bit of a gap to find one more. But Nevis on the pistol. Beautiful work there from him to equalize things. And this 2-on-2 favors the Blacklist side. You'd like to think that Nate is pretty solid to do some chip damage onto Nevis, but it's still that even keel at the end of round 14. LCZ and Juan, the 2 snipers, join hands here on bridge. They clear out the back lanes. Smoke for the window, or just a flash rather. Flash in. Smoke now for the doors, as Nevis actually plays behind it. And LCZ's found a death that he wasn't necessarily expecting, and Nevis is there for the second. So yet another racked up for the Vicious. Still 4 rounds needed to pull it into overtime. Slowly gaining confidence, but still a very distant journey ahead of them.
Yeah, from 9-2 to 9-5, 3 in a row. That needs 4 more to make them into the overtime. Ice Cube with the Elon control now. He knows that nobody from Na'Vi is there. And Na'Vi, they're just trying to play very, very passive. They're playing on the sides. They're not taking any controls, no risks needed. They already get theirs. And Na'Vi is still testing, checking where the push can be. The smoke's on Cat. The smoke's gonna fade and end without any single control coming out from Vicious. This is good for them because they are wasting time. LCZ is just taking some damage by the wall bank. Lineup is here, but it's not a thing to talk about right now. And still, I mean, Na'Vi, they are trying to let them get into the sides, because if you go and try to take the controls, it's a 50-50 fight. Probably gonna whiff, they're gonna have a crazy shots, or maybe they line 2 players. They still have the variety doing it, but from 9-5, 9-6, if it happened, if they want the 9-6, it's over, it's 9-9, the curse is gonna be okay. We've seen it multiple times, we've seen it a couple of times, we've seen it versus Anubis, versus GK, and some other games as well. That's why I'm saying if they need to close it, they probably need to play close on sites, as we can see. A site is kind of weak for Na'Vi, but a B side choose from Vicious is on the take.
Mid door smoke tossed in, but there's still a 3-player lean over here to B, at least temporarily. That one smoke has actually caused a rotation for LCZ back into A. Deep smoke on Cat. Decent nade onto LKK from Nevis. It's a pullback, actually. A minute left on this clock. And Origami has found himself some short space. So the Vicious now all of a sudden decide to reorganize and right back into the waiting arms of 3 defensive players here on the A site. But now JV is getting a little antsy. He moves back in the mid and he's got a fast flank. I don't know if he's actually spotted any of these players. Just said it's a matter of timing. He hears Nevis, or he at least spots him. He wants to confirm that kill at the very least, and he will. So that lurk is down, but J Leo has still found a key opener onto Juan. 15 seconds left on this clock, as J Leo will have to hold strong. Same goes for PBZ. LKK with the trade. We stay in a 3-on-3 even keel. LCZ with the secondary, 14 kills to his name, goes charging in, baits for AKX, and they'll find yet another even trade. Now Origami's been spotted off the cat. They know that PBZ's been around this area. Here comes the flank from LKK. You'd like to see him find a little bit of impact, but he can't. Jumping in, it's all onto AKX. The tap is through, trying to bait out PBZ, but PBZ isn't biting at all. PBZ just wins this round all by his lonesome, and that's a real confidence builder right there.
Yeah, and now the 9-6 curse is about to happen. If they lose, we go to overtime. Or probably Navi just gonna end it. We haven't seen Navi pulling their time out. I guess it's 4 in a row in favor of the Vicious, and now JV takes a lot of damage. Probably gonna be 5 in a row. And it's the comeback day for the teams, and now Navi, they are having slight disadvantage, or let's say an HP disadvantage, which can make them a bit worried about this round. And I mean, Origami is having a very good day as well. Leo, we expected more from him because we've seen him doing very good job on this map versus Anubis on the comeback that they did. Probably this is the team that usually loves the comebacks because it was the same map and they did the same comeback versus Anubis, but now it is versus Navi, probably a stronger team on the line. Or maybe you're going to be finding LKK just gets 3 out of nowhere, or Juan just gets a double and ends the game. And now LCZ is trying to get the information. Now he has 2 players. He's trying to swing. He takes leg shot. Another HP advantage for Vicious. This round surely is going for Vicious.
Well, they've got all the advantages in their favor. Other than map control, Navi still have themselves some short space. JV a bit aggressive there. And the Vicious decide to back away. They decide to move into the barracks, into that A site from long. And that means Juan and LCZ can play at range with their snipers. Ice Cube will not be involved in these initial duels. Minute left on this clock. No real opportunity for this C4 to move all the way back over to B. It seems like this first letter of the alphabet is the final destination. Ice Cube scopes up, searching for something over on short, but it'll not come. It's LCZ, it's Juan, it's JV. But they will make that rotation. They do indeed. As Nevis has got himself some bridge space. And this fake really does sell them down the river. JV will start to make a slow rotation, but it won't happen. AKX and LKK, the tried and true duo on B, have got to hold strong. Here comes AKX with the first. LKK chimes in. JV cuts off a lurk. And it's all up to Nevis and Origami here. They've tried their hardest to pull this one back, but it feels like their time has run out unless Origami can pull a rabbit out of the hat. 2 kills from him, denied by Juan. And it's into the 2-on-1. Nevis, positive in this map. 4 seconds left on the clock. They just got to charge him, deny the plant, and it will come through. It takes a little bit of time there for Navi, but at the end of the day, they were a cut above what this side of the Vicious have produced.
Yeah, I mean, I said we can have some kind of crazy kills from LKK. Got 1, did a big damage on another, and then suddenly Origami just comes from mid, kills 2. I don't know why he came back to mid. He just could have took the knife, pushed to the side, and made it a 2-for-2 after it was a 4-on-2 on Navi. Now probably they are upset. We haven't seen an over celebration because we've seen, they are coming here as a favorite, and they kind of almost lost 4 in a row. And they could have also made it over time if they lose a couple more the same way they did, because Vicious, they gave us a good blacklist fight.
It really showed me a lot of good stuff here, Dan.
Yeah, a late fight back from the Vicious, just as we saw yesterday, but sadly, they gave themselves a little bit too much to do against Navi here, who looked comfortable throughout. There was always that worry, you know, when you get to 9, and we've seen it happen far too many times this tournament, of the dreaded number that is 9, but Navi eventually convert. It will settle those nerves, and then the dominant force that we expected should now carry on, you'd think, going into map 2, especially considering this was Vicious's map choice. Sadly, though, for Vicious, now they're going to really have to dig deep to try and find something different going into the second. I'd love to ask you now kind of what went wrong, what went right, but I think it was just a pretty simple one for Navi. They were winning this just outright on gun skill for the most part. Were winning a lot of their engagements, a lot of their 1v1 trades were going in their favor as well. Yeah. Do we think that maybe the late fight back we saw from Vicious can transition into map 2 at all?
Let me tell you that Navi, by the way, when they got 9, or probably when they got 8, they kind of slowed down things. They don't want to build the strategies because, yes, their opponent or the next opponent going to be watching. They're going to be seeing them. So they didn't want to burn some strategies. What they did is, okay, let's slow down things. Let's try to play with experience. Let's try to play with rotation. Let's just hit the sides or probably just play very, very passive. Just leave the control for the Vicious. We're going to get the rounds anyway. So that's why you've seen Vicious just hitting multiple rounds. So yes, that's what I said. If Vicious even loses this map and they got a couple of rounds before, it's good to transition this momentum into the next map.
You've got players that are now gaining a little bit of momentum themselves. Origami had a couple of moments. Nevis, Jaleo. I still need more out of Ice Cube. I will say there's so much opportunity and potential with this guy. He's putting himself in the right positions, but so many almost kills, right? You think about that final round that they lose or the second to last round that they win, where it's a couple of leg shots there from him, and it just isn't, actually converting. Exactly. And that's my worry with this squad is if you don't have your sniper on full effect, especially on Eagle Eye, we can't stress that enough. This series is going to be over very quickly.
Will this series come to a close after 2, or can we go all the way to a third? Before we